All right. So I had the wildest event happen last night. It was technically this morning, but unbelievably, I dream now. It's the weirdest change. I'm playing Minabeta. I want to play the OP healer and just get some keys up. So I'm trying to think about what the easiest key would be to do in 15. But allow me to tell you, I have never been a person who dreams. Never in my entire life. I don't dream. I don't remember my dreams. I don't have any images in my head. But recently, that is simply not true. I've actually been able to picture things for the first time in pretty much my entire life. And it's weird, man. It's real weird. I don't even know what to do with that information. It is interesting. It's scary. Legitimately, it's actually scary. Like, I wake up and I'm like, bro, what? I'm scared. Like, I feel all these feelings because I can't differentiate the dream from reality. Algathar is not too bad. We could just do an Algathar. I'm actually torn on whether this is the easiest key to just technically double time. I feel like if you want to double time a key, Algathar is not actually the one. Like, Pit of Sauron is probably a better double time. Let's do this. Be a fun key to heal too. Be more fun. Competitive Pit of Sauron. Let's do some beta. Cool. Active Bounty Communal Cheesecake Fund. Yeah, we gotta buy Zan cheesecake. I remember that. We do have to buy Zan cheesecake. All right. You know what? Sure. Okay. What's up, Frozen? Hello. Hello. Good morning or good afternoon, I suppose. Little late today. It's mostly because I still can't process the fact that I'm dreaming. So when I wake up, I am so disoriented, it's unbelievable. Let's see who we can find for beta keys. That is the deal today. 15 Cavern. Somebody's in here. What's up, Anomaly? Hey, you got it for once? Has it not been going out? It does do that sometimes. We could just join this Cavern key. Why don't we do that? Hold up, purple. Because I think it'll be really hard to find a beta key, so why don't we just join this one? Oh, no, because I want it to be my key, so we can upgrade it. Let's see who we can find. Hello. How are things? Pretty good at this point. In general, I would say I'm feeling interesting. I just think, Anomaly, what's weird right now is just, I think I might be healthier because I've been dreaming. And I can't process the fact that I've been dreaming. Like, unbelievable. It's so weird, man. What's up, noob? Like as my health improves, I cannot physically process the fact that I'm dreaming. I don't know how to deal with this information. Genuinely. No idea. Oh, nice. They came here. Nice. Hello. Hi. Do you know what I mean by that? Because I never picture things in my head. Nothing. Zero. I have zero thoughts, zero images. But recently, I've actually had images in my head, and it's just weird. It's just weird, man. Let's go. Do you picture things, noob? If I say, for example, out of curiosity, here's a question for you, basically. If I tell you, picture a penguin, can you see a penguin? Is that something that you actually can see? That's what I want to know. Because if you tell me to picture a penguin, I don't actually see a penguin. I just open a Microsoft Word document in my head that explains all the things I know about penguins. That's what happens to me. Does that make sense? Like, it just basically, there's a document in my head and it just goes, penguins are this color. Penguins live here. I've seen a penguin before. It was at the aquarium. Oh, there's this type of penguin, but it's all written in words. Like, I don't actually see a penguin, right? The weirdest thing, though, is that this day in my life, like at this point in my life, I wonder if my brain is just healing from all the medication I used to take earlier. I genuinely don't know. But I've actually been able to picture images now, and it's strange. Like, super weird to me. It's really, 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 really weird. I'm not used to it at all. Penguin breeding cycles. What's up, Hell? Hell, do you want to come do any keys on beta? I kind of want to push up a 15, double time it, and just go... We need a tank, apparently. Do you want to play Brew? What's up, TH? TH, you want to play your Demon Hunter on beta? You should play beta. That makes sense. But basically, I don't actually think about it, though. Go without me? Okay. Find a tank, then. Yeah. Weirdest thing, man. Weirdest thing. It's strange. All right, I wanted to post just real quick on the YouTube channel, I posted the how to set up a UI on a fresh Midnight Beta character. Just waiting for a pre-patch here. One more day. All right, yesterday, so what happened is, listen. Hold up. Small red button. Where? Wait, where? Press the red button. Where? The thing with pre-patch is I made a video yesterday, and then I felt bad for clickbaiting people. Because I totally oh. Wait, what is this toy? Now I desperately want this toy. Oh my. Wait a second. There's a toy that's just a red button, and if you click it, you insta-rip? Oh my god, I want this toy. That is amazing. Wait a second. Wait, hold on, wait. What's this toy? This toy is amazing. Oh my god, I want this. How do you get this toy? What's up, Justin? Yo, come on, Magus. I would have to kick a DPS, but technically could do that. Wait. Wait, how do I get... That's an amazing toy. What's up, Morland? I can't see the toy. It's literally called Press the Red Button. That's actually what it is. It's just literally called Press the Red Button. I might have to take res sickness. Amazing toy. Wow. We gotta find a tank. Justin, you want to come on Magus? Is that you? That is you. Twunk. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Al. That was perfect. That is amazing. Hi, Beyblades. What is this? Tree Lover. Are you going to trade me the toy? Oh, Curious Red Button. Amazing. I want this toy. Can you do it in a key? What's up, Protein? Hey, G-Dope. Good morning. This is amazing. Didn't realize you needed a tank. Justin, do you play beta now? I haven't played beta, I don't think, with you. Add me on beta. I basically log into beta, and the first thing I do is open friends list, see who's on, and invite everyone. Sort of. But yeah. My curious thing is, what was my life bloom again? Shift left click. Tank? Mala wants to come. Dude, is Mala from my stream? Because he just sometimes appears randomly in my keys. Hi, Mala. Hello. Okay. Cape, I saw the link. Give me like a few seconds, and then we'll get going. What was it? Would be such a funny way to... That's what I was thinking. So I was thinking it would be genuinely very funny if you drop that in a key and you break the key like that. That would be kind of funny. My other thought process is I made a video yesterday, and I would like to formally... I was very tired. It was late at night, and I posted this video, and I was like, this is what I want to share. Like, this is the video that I want to make. So I made it, okay? And it was just like a how to play pre-patch. And it was just like, I kind of debated people with a title because I didn't think about it that much. And then I felt bad a few hours later for debating people with a YouTube title. So what I decided to do is I changed the title, but at the same time, I thought the first title was great. And it was called Secret Tech for Midnight Pre-Patch, How to Min-Max World of Warcraft. And then the video was like, the secret tech is have fun, which is crazy. It's an absolutely wild take for World of Warcraft players, but I genuinely thought that's what needs to be said. Because pre-patch is going to be a buggy mess. Nothing is going to work the way that you actually want it to work, but that's going to be super fun. We're all so concerned about the tuning and you don't want the meta perception to be what it is. I get all that. Like, you want to be able to play the game in Midnight. So you want the game to be fair and balanced, but sometimes when the game is unfair and unbalanced, it's genuinely fun to play. Because score doesn't matter, it's just pre-patch. And so... yeah, I changed the title away from how to min-max World of Warcraft, but genuinely, that's not a bad answer to that question. Don't you agree? Like, I kind of think that's actually a decent answer to that question. Don't log until the second week of pre-patches. The event doesn't start until then. But, like, so it's actually entertaining to walk in and see what 20 Priory will look like or whatever it is that you do. Because what if they break it to the degree that you could do a 27 Priory? Amazing, right? Like, what if you just walked in and they somehow bricked it to the degree that something is doing 700% damage and you walk into a key and you time plus 32 Priory? That's funny. It's not good for a whole season, but it's funny for a little bit. Yeah, or they break it to the degree that you walk into a 10 Priory and you also insta-rip it. But once again, that would be funny. I would play for a day if the game was that broken, because that would be actually genuinely hilarious, right? How do you go about choosing what spec to play in a pre-made group? You think about what the keys need, dispel profile-wise, damage profile-wise, and then you decide from there. That's mostly what you do. And then you see what your other team has. So, you know, if they're physical comp, you think, could we play a monk somewhere in here? Do we have a lot of AoE pad? Do we have prio damage? You think, who's going to be killing the main target, etc., etc. All right, let me make sure Resto Druid gear is on. Equip. Be Resto only. Nice. I guess these trinkets are fine, and that staff is fine. Cool. And we both know you can't play monk. Maybe you can. I'm still willing. It's not an official bet because I'm not allowed to bet on stream. But that being said, I actually am 100% willing. We'll see what happens, huh? Pit of Sauron. Oh, I love pits. All right. Yo, a bot. That's the... Ooh. Possible ban... Wait, hold on. This comment came up as possible ban evader monitoring. It's a clanker. Holy, I don't want to ban the clanker myself because that'll kind of give me a bad rep with the bots. Damn, TH. You got him. Hi, TH. When the revolution occurs, you know, you might be in trouble. I'm just saying. No, so, like, in terms of DPS is actually... I wouldn't say it's more flexible if you're really trying to push keys. Like, what IO are you trying to get to here? Out of curiosity, clarify for me, Dusk. Are you thinking, like what would currently be a plus 20 or plus 21? Is that what you're going for? How high are you wanting to push with this pre-made group? Because it's a little different at that level versus a regular level. Also, hi, Justin. Ready? Let's go. Wait. So, let's get it. All right. Easy 17. Shall we? I am playing this build. I'm okay with this, though. What about key level? Key or 2 under. Okay, so key or 2 under title by end of season or early season? By end or early season, I think. Do you know the people you're playing with and you definitely have a pre-made? First of all, having a pre-made is like the biggest IO hack ever, so I'm proud of you for having a pre-made. That's a good thing. Second of all, I think you play what you want at that level. Honestly, I think you just play what you want at that level. I genuinely don't think it'll matter as much. Having a pre-made would be very nice. I agree with you 100%. Alright, let's play the most OP healer. That being said, if I'm actually playing the most OP healer, I can't let anybody die. Because that would be embarrassing, right? Where is my Heart of the Wild? I don't even have this ability on my bars. Hold up. Heart of the Wild is where? I'm not sure I really like Resto Druid min-max gameplay because the thing is, sometimes I want to be in cat form, and I don't know whether the damage will or will not happen, right? So, my big decision on Resto Druid all the time, pretty constantly, is just, I always want to be like reading my damage and think, oh, there's not going to be a lot of healing here. And then I go heal, and I don't actually have a plan to, you know what I mean? That's my problem with Resto Druid. Oh, he's going big. All right, bet. Hi, Giggle. How's it going? Giggle, are you excited for Holy Paladin in Midnight? Out of curiosity. Is HPAL feeling good to you? So, Hell plays a lot of HPAL. And to be honest, I do think Lightsmith HPAL does feel decent to me. I'm mid about it. Herald doesn't feel good to me, but a lot of people are playing it because tuning-wise, it's a little, like, it works. I don't think so. Like, I find myself having just a few pug healing issues. It's mostly the pug healing issues that I have a problem with, though. Yo, what's up? What are classes saying? How was Pattaya? Did you like it? I like it when people come to visit Thailand. My family was recently here, and it was actually a lot of fun to show them around. And they only left a few days ago, but to be honest, I already missed them. Yeah. The mana issue. So if you're casting a lot, it's the mana issue, but when I was playing Herald, I really tried to avoid Holy Light. Personally, I tried to avoid it, though. I was there for 3 weeks. No idea what's going on with Midnight. So there's only been one build. The main thing with Midnight right now is the fact that they did not really change a lot before pre-patch. So it's kind of clear to me that what they're trying to do is set up for a successful pre-patch, and then what they're going to do is hopefully tune the game from that point. That's what I assume is going to happen, okay? Like, I am hoping that that is the case, because if I'm wrong about that, we're in trouble. But basically, they want a successful pre-patch, and then after the pre-patch, they'll actually look at beta. Make sense? No, I think they're going to do a good job, but also, I don't know how many people actually work at Blizzard. Like, do you have any idea how many people actually work at Blizzard? Wait, I'm supposed to be liberating the camps. I'm the healer, I just realized. Because sometimes I feel like, oh, this is not that hard to do, but they don't actually do it, and I'm like, oh, hold up. Between 3 and 300. See, that's the information that I don't quite understand. I do love that I can see the fiery brand here, though. Pirate software. That doesn't count. Do you know what I mean, though? Because, like, I'm like, oh, they'll fix this. This is an obvious bug, but I don't know. Hi, colors. And let me explain what I actually mean by that, because I think it's important to clarify. Hi, Trinkets? Trinkets? I haven't seen you in forever. How's it going, Trinkets? You coming back from Midnight? I haven't seen you in a long time. Wow. Hi. Never forget Trinkets the Bear. Vox Machina, great show. So, the reason I say that is because we've been testing beta a long time, right? We've been doing this for months now. And actually speaking, we have reported all the bugs that they need to know. And my only problem, normally, by the way, I would be a little bit more not feeling so hot if they didn't know what was going on. Because I don't think they're going to actually look at all of the bugs for every single spec and do something about it. However, we have told them literally everything. Every single class Discord has an absolutely amazing resource list right now on beta. So they kind of have no excuse. And that is my biggest problem. So they have to get it right. Does that make sense? Because if they don't get this right, then I lose all faith in them. If you just go into the Guardian Druid Discord literally right now, you will find a full compilation of all the bugs that need to be addressed. Same with Blood DK, same with this, same with that. So my issue is, if they don't fix it when we have done all the work for them, then I'm a little bit kind of iffy. Does that make sense? Then I'm kind of feeling a little bit meh about it. Because they have to do that right. Yeah. I just think that they're waiting because their goal was pre-patch. However, there's a lot of things that are very bugged on pre-patch, you know. So I'm not... We'll see. How much of this is just due to holiday delays? Yes, except Dusk, how hard is it to actually fix code in World of Warcraft? Like, let's say, for example, that one of my abilities is doing 30% more than it's supposed to. Okay? How hard would it actually be to fix that? That's my question. Is it significantly harder? Am I missing something? Like, is it really, 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 really complicated? Because I feel like it can't be that hard. But maybe I'm wrong about that. You know? That's what I was thinking. I mean, what if I'm wrong and it actually is that hard? Depends if a bug or a number adjustment. Let's say... Let's say that it's just a number adjustment. And there's actually an ability that is simply doing too much. How long do you think that would take? Because that happens a lot, where it's like, oh, this one thing is doing 30%. Like, let's take Holy Priest as an example. Holy Priest right now is doing their apex talent that we're all very hyped about. Is really cool. It's called Benediction. And it is currently making your flash heal do 30% less healing, so you don't even want to proc it. Okay? So you're going to be doing 30% less healing, not 30% more healing when it procs. How hard would it be for them to fix that? And 60. What's happening with Midnight Beta is effectively they did nerf a few things. Everything is actually identical. It's unbelievable. So Frost Mage is still really good. Dev is still decent. Just a little bit less good. I died, my bad. Actually, if I die on this boss, that's a problem. I was a little slow to move for the puddles. I think they'll still kill it. It's low enough. I've coded for a private server, and even base code is Omega Spaghetti. It's a coin flip between an hour and a week. A week? To fix a 30% number thing? How bad is the code where it would take a week to fix that? I just, in my head, I'm thinking, it must not be that hard. In my head, I'm thinking, it can't be that bad. Are you saying it really is that bad? Well, they can't just go in and say 30% more? Really? I find that to be surprising. So I'll leave my tier set tomorrow. How are they managing tier sets? I haven't really... I understand, like, the basics of how coding works, but not really. Like, actually, though, I don't really understand how coding works, so... It would actually take... You think it would take that long? You can go in at just 30%, but that might not be what's wrong. Okay. Could you explain that a little bit better to me? Wait, how'd I die? Oh, I didn't realize there would be extra damage there. Everybody gets a 10% damage. That's not going to cover it, man. 10% damage and healing means that Priory still absolutely sucks. Depends on dependency. Like, if you have a talent that affects 6 spells, it has a chance to interact with every of the other ones. But still, I mean, it can't be that bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm coping. But in my opinion, all right? Yeah, I was about to say, everybody is going to have... They're only doing a 10% compensation nerf. To me, that's insane. Because I've played beta now for a little bit, and I'm telling you, 10% is not anywhere near the pruning that is actually going to happen or be demanded. So 10% damage and healing is... Alright, so basically every key level is buffed by how much? How much would that be, actually? 70%. So you're gonna walk into like a 12 Priory and be difficult, though. It takes me like 3 days. It only takes me 3 days, probably takes me half a day. That's what I'm curious about. I think that I might just have kind of stupid information. Like, I might just not understand how it works to code things. But I really think in my heart of hearts that it can't take that long. It probably can't be that bad. But maybe I'm wrong. You know... This Resto Druid gameplay, it is definitely the best healer on beta, but my hots are so short now, and technically for me to do max healing, I should be ramping all the time. And in a weird way, I feel like cat form still just feels so bad. You know, like cat form just feels so bad, man. The balance Resto. Like healing-wise, there's nothing that compares to Resto. It just has the best healing. But if I greed cat form, I don't have the best healing. I just have some healing. Like, I can cleave everyone up here pretty much permanently. How does Resto... Okay, so What's happening in beta right now, basically meta-wise, if you're thinking it from that perspective, Resto Druid is the best healer because it has the most coverage, right? The main thing is that Resto Druid has the more coverage than anyone else. So the reason that it's considered so good is not necessarily that it has infinite HPS in a burst window, but rather it just doesn't lose its HPS ever. Like, it just always has healing without cooldowns. Whereas everyone else had their cooldowns pruned, right? So on this fight, every minute you need a healing cooldown, although they nerfed it a lot. But since, you know what I mean? So Resto Druid is kind of the only healer that can just permanently heal nonstop, always, no matter what. You don't depend on any of your actual buttons to heal right now. Most of the damage, I think that it's just mostly a key thing, where they fundamentally change the keys to be a little bit more rot healing. This DK, hold up, you get hit by stuff. So they fundamentally change keys to be more rot healing instead of one-shots. And Resto Druid obviously excels at this. Does that make sense? So because the keys are a little bit less one-shot territory, you just need HPS. And obviously, they can't balance that properly because no one does HPS like a Resto Druid does. So that's really the issue with the balancing of it and why Resto Druid is so good. It's also why Resto Druid will probably be meta, because how do they fix that? They're not going to redesign the keys. If that's what the check is just actual HPS, like it's just a lot of Kajin fights, basically, from Halls of Infusion, then they can't balance it. Then Resto Druid will just be the best, no matter even if they nerf it a little bit, because then it'll be too... The problem with Resto Druid is they won't nerf it because raid. So to nerf it to be an acceptable level for keys would actually over-nerf it. And I don't know what the target is. Where other healers are like, hey, if this is feeling really good, guess what? Yeah, they always tune for raid. The truth is that if another healer is feeling particularly amazing, it's okay. There's normally a way to nerf or buff them, as in this one thing is not doing so hot, or this interaction here, the Holy Priest benediction issue, that type of stuff. However, that doesn't really exist for Resto Druid, so I don't know how they're going to do this. Problem is other healers need a buff. I think that where the healers are feeling is where they want them to be. I don't know if the tanks are exactly where they should be at this point. I feel like the tanks could use a little bit more help still, but I don't know if you want healers to feel Omega Giga powerful. It was something that was talked about in the podcast that I was on with LB and everybody, but it was just like, tanks feeling powerful is a massive W, right? So tanks feeling good is like better for the game. If tanks are tuned positively, then everyone has a good time. If tanks die, everyone has a bad time, right? Okay, here's the problem. If healers are tuned to be actually so powerful, then they have to make damage super spiky. So if one of your heals just cleaves somebody's health bar up by 70% outside of your cooldowns, that means they have to keep designing damage events to suit that, right? Oh, I'm going to die. Does that make sense? And you don't necessarily want that. Like, the way that damage feels in keys right now, the fact that it does take me a few globals to top people is good. That's not bad. That's a good thing. For healers. Oh, well, it's about 18. Wait, what? How long is it to level in Midnight right now, Cape? You actually did this? Or you had somebody else do this? There's no way. You actually spent all the time leveling on the... There is a leveling beta realm, but... 80 to 90 took how long? 18 hours. 18 hours. That's the problem. I'm really bad at leveling. I'm really slow at it. Man, greeting my damage feels so bad. I'm not doing damage, but just... How many dungeons? Yeah. They did? They confirmed at some point it was going to take more time? Oh, that's okay. We'll just chain that in. My bad. That's 18 hours is a long time, because I want to level like 8 characters, man. All good. I like how my party chat just says you died right now. We can pull it in. It's okay. Just pull it up. I'll manage. Not worried. Yeah, yeah. I have like early access because I bought the Epic Edition, so I'm not that worried about it. Wow, 18 hours. So I would only be able to level like how many characters then? That's not a lot of characters. Yeah. Because the plan is to have as many characters leveled as possible. How many ults do you guys want to level in Midnight? What's your plan, Eladria? How many characters were you planning to level before the season actually comes out? Because that's a real question, by the way. Do we get a Warbound? If it's 18 hours, it's 1. I was going to do like 8. Well, how the Race to World First people are going to be in absolute despair and misery, damn. The XP needed is completely nuts. Is that good? It's 27th. No, early access is still... Isn't it still like March? No, the official release... Hold up, I'm going to get this right. The official release for Midnight is March 3rd, which means that early access would be maybe last day of February, yes. That could be right. That could be correct. Pretty sure the race will have hidden routes and strats lower. Yeah, that 100% they do. There's no way, because they have to level like 16 characters, and they actually wouldn't have enough time to do it. Man, that's crazy. I hope they nerf that. I don't think people would really enjoy that. Epic Edition World of Warcraft starts the 30 days, meaning they can start February 27th. You were correct, my bad. Because February is a short month. Fair enough. So this, I've applied my bleeds. Now I ramp heals. For February 27th. I didn't think about that. March 2nd for NA. Okay. Wow. They love how long if they want people to be behind them. Well, no, they're I guess EU timing. But they ultimately have the same amount of time, so they wouldn't be that far behind them. But I understand what you're saying, yeah. Tomorrow, yes. So 60. In terms of what's meta on beta, basically nothing has changed. Resto Druid did receive a nerf, by the way, in the last set of notes. It just wasn't reported by Wowhead. If you did not know that, it did actually get a nerf. But it wasn't that big. I was thinking I should take that Friday off. You know, honestly, I wouldn't take that time off. If you're going to take time off work to play WoW, you should totally 100,000% do it when, what's it called? Yeah, start of season. Don't do it at the... If you can take a week off, do it at the start of season, not at leveling. Leveling, you have time. I guess even if it takes this long, I would take time off. Like, I wouldn't plan to game degenerately until, was it 2 weeks after? Yeah. The early access, I mean, I have it, but it's not a good time to take the time off WoW. That's not when you would do it. Right, start of M+, because you want to grind. Like, that's the grinding, because keys take a while, but you'll get a benefit, a real big benefit to how long you can play and how degenerately you can play on start of season. That's like the real secret. That's the real tech. Because the more keys that you do, the faster you gear, and the more powerful your character becomes, and you get all your crests, and you can keep doing vaults on other characters as well. So you want to have your characters just leveled and prepped, but also there's going to be some degenerate gear grind where it's like you can get 2 more item levels before a season by farming the super rares or whatever it is. Don't do that. Exactly. Don't worry about that. That never matters. As long as you can get into keys, and I guess you'll do Mythic Zeros, but that really doesn't matter. Yeah, the crest system I've heard is going to be interesting, let's say. The min-max of it is going to be annoying. Mythic Plus Hamster Wheel bore some of us. The grinding, it's a new season. March 17th, Mythic Zero March. Is it 3 weeks? Wait. Wait a second. Eladria. Wait. Hold up. Wait a second. Pause. 3 weeks? It's normally 2 weeks from... The season doesn't start for 3 weeks. So you... Hold up. Whoa, really? Interesting. I didn't know that. So you have 3 weeks to level We get Heroic Week, but Mythic Plus doesn't come out in Heroic Week, right? Because Mythic Plus is capped. And that's why it is. That's tough, man. So there's still 2 entire months before the season. I kind of thought it was 2 weeks still. I don't know why I had in my head that it was 2 weeks, but luckily my work is in the early mornings and late night, so I don't have to worry too much. That is a long time, yeah. So for what it's worth, yeah, you just do 5s, and it will be Heroic Week. I guess, from my perspective, I don't mind Heroic Week, probably because I don't really like raiding, right? But I don't have to worry about it. Because Heroic Week, I'll actually have a week to raid and not worry about keys. So hopefully I can just pick up... I guess that means you have an extra week to pick up your tier set as well before keys start. That might not be bad for non-raiders. That might actually be okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, that could be a good positive system for people who don't raid. I could see that being actually okay. Okay, so ramp the heals. They fix LVY. LVY said they were continuing production, but we don't exactly know what that means. It will have nearly all the same functionality as it did before, but not... We don't actually know. Yeah, the new Season 1 tier sets are never as important as later seasons, like what we have right now. However, you'll still want them as a competitive advantage, and I'm sure that you're going to see... You remember the keys at the beginning of the season? You're going to see a Note 4 set. You remember those? Do you know what I'm talking about? At the beginning of the season, for keys, for push keys, you're going to have people who say Note 4 set. A classic. An absolute classic. However, it really won't be as important to get it. GG's. All right, 17. Nice. Wow, players at it again. GG's. This tank is a really good beta tank. GG's. 17. I might just replace the... Yeah, Devour actually is doing decent. I don't know what they did to it, but people have either figured out a build or something, because it's actually doing... It's keeping up, at the very least. I haven't heard many talk about it, but now that Blizz blocks out a date add-ons, it's the first couple of days of our patch, no add-on days. Good question. I don't know. Like, that's a good question, actually. How's Disc in beta? Yo, what's up? Disc in beta is very good, though. What are those party frames? These are base frames. Okay. These are completely base party frames. Everything I do on beta is 100% base. I have no add-ons whatsoever. Yeah, cape. Bring it. You should. Bring it, cape. Yup. Alright, purple. What do you want to play? Nice Resto Druid. I will try. Just healing dry? Yeah, I will. I am, actually. I think it's important that I practice that. My only issue is that for some reason my Dispel was bugged, though. Beta's up. It is, Mortis. You want to come play? Yup. Probably a lot to maintain us on the game longer. The 3 weeks is weird. You want down? All right, bet. So we got 2 DPS coming. What are you playing more? Are you playing your rogue? I wish people could see base UI is decent enough to... Yeah, I actually wish that too. That's kind of one reason I'm doing... I'm telling you I'm lagging at EU server. Nid, I am also... I always play with at least 200 ping, so I understand. Yeah, play whatever you want. We have a DPS spot. I think I want to try... I want to show people... Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to do a... Have you played beta a lot? Because we were going to go 17, but we can do another 15 and get it up. 15 is easy, Mortis. 17 is starting to get a little harder. Barely. Okay, let's do 15 then. Let's just get... Actually, we get... Last time I was with... Oh, okay. I was... Okay, bring it. Actually, we do 15 because... We get one more 15. Maybe like 15 something. Whatever you want. Is a rebuild their UI tomorrow? Okay, so... 2 things are going to happen with pre-patch. Mostly 3 things. The first thing is that people are going to freak out. You got to understand that people are going to literally panic. They're going to panic so hard it's unbelievable. So that's the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to see the Reddit post, the Twitter post, the drama is going to be absolutely insane. You know? Yeah, it's going to be good tomorrow, okay? The UI, however, is going to be just fine. Keep in mind that I set up my UI completely base. Like, this is all 100%, and it's not that hard to set up. You just go to click casting. So what you do here is, it's limited, and it's not as good as Cell was, to be fair. Oh, I got you. Hold up. Yeah, I know, but there are people who are inflammatory for what it's worth, and you got to understand that that's totally fine. However, they are inflammatory. You know, he wants to doom because if I was dooming and I released a video where I was like, guys, everything is going to shit, then people would click on it, to be fair. But I don't really want to do that. I like to clickbait people into saying, all right, guys, everything's going to be fine. For what it's worth, here's what this actually looks like, okay? You go to options, and you just go to click casting. And this is how you set up a healer right now. Remember, healers have less buttons, so it's not that bad. You just go here, and you drag and drop. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the best either, but keep in mind, I just go rejuve, left button, and I click this left button, shift left, control, and alt. You have all of those things. Try that. No problem. Does that make sense? So all you have to do for click casting is this. Now, it is limited for what it's worth. There's only these, and you can't use like an R or a Q, and my cell used to have like Shift R as a modifier. At the moment, I can't do that. So I hope they fix that. But every healer, like Wrestler Druid actually has more things than other. Okay, so this would be like alt left click. I hope that they fix this already. That might actually work now. It does. I've recently been healing with 2 globals. See that? It's not that bad. Like that's pretty good though. You know what I mean? No, you can do that for well, you won't have a kick anymore, trinkets. Oh, trinkets. If you're out of date on beta, you're not gonna have kick anymore as a healer. That's a conversation. I am so sorry to break this to you. If you are playing healer, you will not have kick at all. All kicks removed from healers. Right. So that's why I wanted Resto Shaman. Resto Shaman still has a kick, but it's 30 seconds. So it's not as good. Mort, you want a preference on what you want to do? Mort, you want to learn any key or just do 15 AA or something? Do you want to learn any key in particular? All 8 keys are out now. I'm down for anything. Mallow, what you want? Does Mallow want to practice a key? Welcome to a Warlock. Well, okay, hold up. No, actually, Morlin, that's not true. Demo Warlock has 2 kicks now. That's not... Hold up. It doesn't count on the tracker, if that's hilarious, but it still does. Demo, I was playing Demo yesterday, and there's 2 kicks, because you can spec into the Grimoire thing, and I've been playing that. You actually have 2 kicks as a Demo Warlock, which felt really nice. They're range kicks, but still. Sorry, no problem. I actually think that's very cool for Warlock. All right, what key do we want to send? Do I need anything on the... Let's see. Oh, wait, I need a Magister's Terrace real bad. Let's... 15 Terrace. Harder key. Let's do it. Let's do a 15 Terrace, because apparently I need that. Yeah, this is... Yeah, let's do 15 Terrace. Mala probably has a cool route for it, though. As you were saying, Demo Warlock has 2 kicks now, which I actually think is kind of cool. And a little bit of a niche utility, let's say. But yeah, Demo Warlock has 2 kicks. Not bad. It felt really good to play yesterday. So you have stun, and you have a new talent that allows you to just summon your thing. It doesn't really do damage. It's not part of your DPS rotation. But it does add an extra kick on a 24-second cooldown. It takes 1 soul shard. So technically, you know, the smallest DPS loss, but it's fine. Yeah, it technically takes 1 soul shard. Okay, so I need another key, because we want to keep the 17 now for later. And then this one here, though. 15 here. It's not a stun. So you have your regular kick from your Felguard, and that one is still a 30-second stun interrupt, but it also works as an interrupt. Snoop Dogg is streaming right now. Damn. You want to know a random fact? You want to know something actually kind of wild, which is a very true fact? You want to know something interesting? When I was a kid, I spent a fair bit of time around Snoop Dogg. Like, I was hanging out with Snoop Dogg more than you would think as a young child. I actually, in real life, this is a true fact. What did we say we were doing? Chairs, right? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, that's a random fact about Owu's early life, is that I spent a lot of time around famous musicians. I was on the set of American Idol. I was backstage on American Idol for a long time. For like a few seasons because of reasons. But yeah, that's a random fact about me. Do you know what I did backstage in American Idol? Do you know why I wanted to go and why I was so interested in it? And not because I got to meet Simon Cowell or anything like that. That has nothing to do with it. You want to know what actually has anything? Because they had free M&Ms. Massive amount? No, because they had peanut M&Ms on tap. Because backstage in the green room, they had a giant bowl of peanut M&Ms. And I could have as many as I wanted. So I didn't cause a fuss. That was the reason I liked being there. Peanut M&Ms. That was the thing. As a kid, all I ever wanted, right? Wait. Does anyone have combat pots? Hold up. Was American Idol staged? I was too young. I don't know if the results were staged, to be fair, but I was there. I was too young to actually learn that. Question. Can I have some lights potential pots, please? Do you have any extra cape? Can I have like 5 or 10? Oh, chocolate, I forgot to buy one for lunch. So, can I have like 5 or 10? I just forgot to buy them at the vendor and we'll go. Thank you. Much appreciated. Do you know this key, Mortis? This one is... I would argue this is going to be the hardest pug key. But actually, if the route is good, it's very fun. There's like this one is like a huge routing difference. Kind of. When we were first doing it in beta, this was the worst key, man. It was terrible. But now that I've been doing it a few more times, it's actually not that bad. We're not doing 17. Hold up. How do I... Why is this 15 key bugged? He wouldn't remember me. No, he doesn't remember much of anything. Wait. My one key is just bugged. This one. I gotta maybe try to change it. Oh, shit. This key literally bugged. Look, it's gray in my bags. Yeah. Log out. Reload. Yeah. Cool. Groovy? No. I banned this key earlier because the DPS would not stop dancing last night and never caught balls. Not everybody likes balls. Alright, bet. Let's go. Countdown. 10. Hi, Shade. How's it going? We're playing the most OP healer, so I shouldn't have a problem healing this. But to be fair, my damage is just so... It just feels so irrelevant. It just feels weird. Like, I'd like to actually... Let me try, okay? Did I combat log this? Hopefully somebody else is logging, because I forgot to start before this key. But the idea is here, though. How to use Life Loom most effectively. So, the tank actually doesn't need it. Your place got a facelift? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I live in a house now. I did a cooking stream yesterday for my birthday. It was 2 days ago now. A good tank doesn't need Life Bloom. Put it on the DPS. Depends on the tank. If you're pugging, absolutely just send it. But most of the time, your tank should not actually require your Life Bloom right now. Depends on the tank. Thank you. I am now old, man. I'm 29. Crazy. I'm doing all right today. I ate a good breakfast. I had steak and eggs. It was a nice steak, too. I cooked it perfectly, so that always feels nice when you cook your steak perfectly. Yeah, I'm on the cusp of 30. I'm getting old, man. So here, I'll external my tank because he's a demon hunter. He probably doesn't need it, but that's the right thing to do. Because certain pulls, he will need it, and otherwise. Otherwise, you see, I'm actually putting this on the hunter. I'm putting my Life Bloom on the hunter. Cape is good, and he'll use defensives, but my tank does not need my Life Bloom here. I was wrong. He almost died. What's the time in Thailand? The time in Thailand is 2 p.m. It is now 2 p.m. here, though. So I'm basically just going to apply HOTS, and then I'm going to Swift Mend. And then after the Swift Mend, I make sure I regrowth instead of this, and then I just go like here. Boom. I treat Life Bloom like beacons. You can only have one now instead of two, so it's just important because I'm playing the life treading talent. If I put it on the warlock and the warlock is standing way back there, keep in mind I don't actually get the full benefit from it because people won't be in my Life Bloom. So that's a small problem that you have to think about. So he's gonna wait for aggro because he's actually a really good tank. So here I have to heal, right? But see how the first Life Bloom went on the hunter? And then I can regrowth the target. Whoever I regrowth, it also applies to my Life Bloom target. So as I'm spreading my hots, it's important that I do this right. He got stunned, so he's going to come back. No problem. So I'm just keeping hots here, though. I'm almost 30. Me too now. I'm actually also close to 30. It's crazy. So we're going to run here. This part of the key, by the way, I hate this part. I hate forced RP and key. So now I'm going to do a full healing ramp. And I don't have a lot of time for it, so I'm going to early convoke. All right, everybody has big hots on them, but this is a massive amount of healing that I have to do now. So I've proc my tree. Somebody's out of range from me. Unsure. Oh, I think he got stunned by something. I hate this place already. Yup. So forced RP in dungeons is terrible. No one likes it. It doesn't benefit literally anyone. I'm nearing JB status. Ooh, that's tough. You're almost 30? Do you feel almost 30? Because sometimes I feel my age and sometimes I don't. But yeah. Why do they put that little maze in there? It actually makes no difference. It doesn't help anyone. It's not fun. The first time you do it, you're like, oh, okay. But then afterwards, I don't think that it's rewarding gameplay to have like an RP maze in the middle of a dungeon. You're 46, get bent? All right, I'm bent. I'm super Lou. From you saying that, I just want you to know I am like Omega bent right now. That's true. Kitty's older than me. Did you know that? Kitty is older than me. So sometimes when we're hanging out, I just randomly hear in the background like an Ace Ventura movie. I just all of a sudden I'm just like, I just randomly hear like a like a meow. One thing I really like about World of Warcraft is actually the diversity of people who play. Like, the people who play the game have different age groups. And I really like that. I think it's very interesting, because most games do have some level of consistency between who plays their game. But in WoW, you just have randomly this, like, oh, yeah, of course, like, I'm 42, and you're, like, your healer that you've been playing with for a long time is like, oh, I'm like 27. And you're like, wow, okay. And then somebody else is like, I'm 19. And then that one e-girl you talk to is like, oh, I'm 55. And you're like, holy shit. All that gold. Unfortunate. Oh, I forgot to buff. Okay, so this next pull is also a big ramp. My tank technically would get external here on the gatherer. I'm sure he'll be fine, but that's what I would do in a hierarchy. And then I'm going to pre-ramp. So I'm just applying my regrowths to everybody. I'm dispelling, and then I'm going to convoke here. Now, technically, this is not max HPS because I set this up wrong. But I would extend this dot on the hunter, and then I'm going to life bloom. And if I have time before the next ramp, I'm going to rejuve everybody. And then after the rejuve, I just now apply my regrowths. So this is the pre-ramp if I have time for it. And then I swift mend into regrowth spam. And it really is actually just regrowth spam. But Burson, do you feel your age? Okay, so when this dies, I need a healing ramp, but otherwise, I just go boom, 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 like this. So actually right now, this is going to die real fast. So I have to make sure I have big healing here, and maybe even a bear form. Big healing, almost missed that. I was actually almost a second late on that. And then I'm going to be in melee. Now, part of the issue I have with my UI is I'm a little confused. Why? How come my frames on Resto Druid in particular do not show buffs or debuffs? Like, I don't see this. On my other healers, I see it. Is it that my oh my god, please don't pull. Please don't pull. Thank god. I almost bricked this key. That was going to be such a fast break if I had pulled that to the left thing, though. Oh, you're Captain Barrison? What's up? Oh, Burson. Oh, that's you. I see. What the fuck? What the fuck? God damn. Sometimes they gotta stop doing that. What is this? Ah! Ah! What was that? Why did my phone do that? What? Are they allowed to do that? Yeah, it was like an emergency message. It was like an Amber Alert, basically, but it's apparently a test. Oh my god, my poor little heart. What does it say, kitty? What? My poor heart. I'm not equipped to handle this. It's just testing the emergency system. I'm not equipped to handle this. Would you recommend for someone Resto? I think that Resto is actually not a bad first healer at this point, but it's not still the best first healer. To be fair, I actually don't think that Resto Druid is the best first healer going into Midnight, but it depends on the key level you want to do. If you're trying to go high enough, then yes. But if you're actually just like, look, I want to get my 10s or my 12s, I actually think something like a Resto Shaman would suit you significantly better if you're trying to just have an easier time healing as you learn how to do it. In my opinion, because Resto Druid still does have a ramp, you still have a lot of decision making. You have spammable healing, but the problem with your healing is that in order for me to do the proper HPS required to keep people alive, I need to actually be gaming. Did somebody get this ready? And the gaming involves me understanding damage patterns. It's not that you need a min-max damage, because actually you don't. So this is going to be the hardest thing for me to heal here, because I actually can't see the debuffs. I don't know who has what. I only see the dispellable debuffs. I don't see who has the actual thing, though. The easiest, that'll be Resto Shaman. Like 100% Resto Shaman is the answer to that question. And now a lot of people are going to have almost an issue with Resto Shaman because it's too easy. Like, I can foresee some issue with Resto Shaman here. I wonder if people will dislike playing it for 6 months. Because Trinkets, it's way easier. But when I say way easier, like, so Totemic, the way it plays right now is you have no healing surge, and you have no procs and no amps for your healing. So it literally is, and I'm going to explain to you the entire gameplay of Resto Shaman. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Because I'm going to teach you right now how to play Resto Shaman, if that's something you're interested in playing. Oh, he's going to pull all of this. Holy, this is actually a really tough pull. Let me lock in for this pull first, and then I will teach you the entirety, because otherwise everybody on my team is about to die. Can these dots double? It looks like it. I can't see it. I'm healing blind right now. Trank. Right away. I'm going to Vortex Typhoon for 1 global here. This is going to be an insane... This is actually an insane pull to do this. Arguably, this is the highest HPS I'm going to have to do in the entire dungeon. I really want to see my HPS for this pull. Because that was pretty good, though. Yeah, the communal cheesecake fund, man. I need people to fund it so I can just buy Zan a cheesecake. Have you ever... Oh, lastly, that one right there, I was late on my life bloom, and I hit the wrong global. If I had hit regrowth, he would be alive right now. So I went to hot him, but instead of... I should have actually spam healed him there. The right global was regrowth. Hold up. I need a res. Oh, that doesn't stack anymore. Okay. What was my HPS there? Current segment. 181k. 181k is the highest HPS I have had in the entirety of beta. Holy. That's crazy, actually. That is a lot of HPS. To be fair, that is the most HPS I've had in, I don't think I've ever had to do more than that at this point. That's a lot of HPS there. Oh, I should have convoked a second later. So there is still a lot of min-max gameplay with Resto Druid right now. And that, to me, is kind of the... I'll go first. Yeah. So I don't think it's easy to play necessarily. It is overpowered in terms of how it heals, but it's not it's unfair because of the damage patterns. That's what makes it unfair. Okay, go here. Wait, I was late in healing this. You see? Now, I almost let everybody die here. Depending on how... If that was a little bit more damage, a key level higher, and everybody would be dead. So... Because I decided to go cat form for a second. Like, here is where I'd go cat form and reapply. But I should be pre-ramping right now. I'll have a second to ramp in a second. But that type of gameplay, you have to be making decisions like that. And that tends to be anti-friendly gameplay. I got this. So he had to unending resolve. You see how that ramp was late? Everybody would be giga full health if I wasn't in cat form, just now reapplying bleeds. But it's fun to do that. Cool. And convoke. No problem. Here we go. Do you think it will be easier? I think that there will be less meta pressure potentially in Midnight. I am not convinced of that. Do not quote me. But I do think that you'll have an easier time in Midnight playing kind of off-meta things because the specs have been simplified to a degree that you might not need... Oh, there's 2 dots. Stampeding Roar. And it's just because that things have been simplified to the degree where there's a little bit less niche things that something provides. So let's say that prop pally is like really good. You might not be forced to play it like you were in season 1. Because it might be easier for them to balance now that things are a bit more homogenized. Hopefully that makes sense, what I just said. I also need mana food. I just realized I don't have any mage food on me and I only have 1 drink left, so I'm going to try to hold it. I think it would be a legendary this X pack. Ooh, good question. I don't know. Great question. I don't know the answer to that question. I want to keep playing Alloons. You'll be fine. Look at my how's the mana consumption for a Resto Druid? High. If I heal the way I was just healing, it's pretty high. Hold up. Somebody pin that message if there's a mod in here. Look at the beta logs that I just linked there. Oh, hi, Elzian. How's it going? Look at the beta logs I just linked for... What's it called? Oh, we're going huge. Hold up. Big pull. Big pull. Woo. Hi, Elzian. Elzian, are you going to play Midnight? Do you want to play Midnight World of Warcraft? Out of curiosity? Because you play other games. Yeah? What are you most interested in? Big healing here. I got this. So see this, that type of healing, that health bar is just going up, down, down. You still have that. And now the next one I could trank if I really wanted to, etc. Cool. With this though. Druid with the new race. Can't go wrong with that. So anyways, Rasmus, look at the beta testing logs. I linked an Algathar Academy with a Loon's Chosen build. That one was still raised, but you don't have to do this, though. So for what it's worth, you don't have to play it that way. But a Loon's Chosen versus Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw did a lot more damage, but it's not like a Loon's Chosen didn't do damage. That was actually still very acceptable to play. So you will be able to play EC. The people who tell you that you won't be able to do that, they're just wrong. Straight up. It's actually a bad take to say that you couldn't play the thing that you want to play. 10 winner last night was fun, but trying to hit Shadow Meld a lot. That logs makes me sad. It's not all that. Well, yeah, you're sad because you're a Windwalker. That makes sense. Don't look at the Windwalker damage, because that will probably get buffed and changed soon, hopefully. If it doesn't, well, don't play Windwalker Monk. You were trying so hard to. Like, I could see you trying to pad on the ads, but that spec is... You just look forward to the buff on the next set of actual tuning. It's stuff like that. When I was asking earlier, how hard is it for them to actually code updates into the game? It can't be that bad. Like, that's the thing. Like, how are they not aware of what's happening with Windwalker and at least giving it something like a 10% temporary buff or something like that? Like, that's what I wonder about sometimes. Does that make sense? Why can't they just code in right now 10% for Windwalker, and it would still be really bad, but at least it would be testable? Do you know what I mean? I wonder about that. Yo, what's up, game? Oh, has there ever been a tank-specific legendary? Wait, I'm like racking my brain right now. A tank-specific legendary. Does the Gavel of the Arbiter count? Because tanks used Gavel. Well, that's not like a legendary item. That's just like an interesting item from the Jailer. Does that count? Is Bear Tank finally S+ tier? No, I don't think it's going to be S+ tier. I don't think it can be just because of how Mythic Plus is designed. The DK one, like Fearlaugh, but that's like, I think of Rat Pally and DPS warriors playing Fearlaugh. I don't really think of tanks playing it. You technically did, but I don't really think about it like that. Also, here, I was a little late on my ramp, so I would actually be slightly behind in healing this. They don't want to all tab out to Hightail Code and Affix. I don't understand, apparently, how coding works. Their internal data might not match live data. But what is their internal data, Marev? What internal data do they have? All tanks have shared... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's never been a tank-specific one. Yeah. They've always been shared, and that makes sense because if they're going to go through the effort of designing a legendary... That would get a lot of people to tank, though. If there was a tank-specific legendary, people would play tank. I've never thought about that, but no joke, that's actually not a bad idea to get people to play tank. And you haven't said anything more with Enhancement Shaman. Godsmack. Enhancement Shaman, not my area of expertise, to be honest. Hunt, do you have any YouTube guys on Bear Resto? Yes. Trinkets. I'll have a lot. Right now, there's a few on Bear. I've been waiting to make a little bit, but my plan is to make the literal best guides that you could have for keys. I want to make them for each individual healer and each individual tank, except for Brewmaster, because I don't feel comfortable making that one. Basic stuff, I want to put all of it, and I'm going to make some of the best WoW content. That's my goal. It'll be... Now, that content will be locked. I will make it for Patreon and YouTube members. If you really want it, and you don't have the funds to support or pay for it, let me know, and I'll probably just send it to you. But if you do have the funds and you want access to that content, then you would just find it on Patreon. Like yesterday, I put a Frost Mage guide up, because I've been playing Frost Mage for a little bit on beta. And I want people, if you have beta access or you can play on pre-patch, Frost Mage is going to be awesome. However, it's not that complicated. So in about 60 seconds, I told you what the rotation is. It's not full mint. I don't actually want to do... I love this jellyfish boss. I don't like this boss. Patreon content is good, just missing feed picks. Hey, hi RFA. Oh, hi RFA. I'm playing Wrestler Druid today. For now, at least. RFA, you know, the longer that I actually play Wrestler Druid, the more that I struggle with this whole I really want to be in cap form business. But in Midnight, it matters even less to be in cap form than it does right now. So it's like, just feels weird, you know? What's up, Cartarius? Cartarius FM. I don't know you. Hold up, wait a second. A bunch of people are coming in to say hi. Cap form feels pretty irrelevant right now. Like, it just... I could be greeting my damage a lot, and it just doesn't really matter. It's worth it a little bit, but it barely registers, you know? It's not a complete waste of time. Like, you can do some damage, right? Like, it's not actually a complete waste of time, but it's relatively speaking a complete waste of time. Every time I'm paying credit, so it takes a lot of... It will take me a lot of effort. Keep in mind that I do actually have a normal job, for what it's worth. Hold on, let me see Marv testing. I want to see this. Because I don't want to be an idiot in regards to how much... Like, what does it actually mean to update code in game? I don't actually want to be clueless about it. So if you can teach me about what it means for them to go update their game, I'd appreciate that. I'll read it. Let me heal this pull first real quick, because there's going to be a Dispel, and then I need to ramp just a bit. But otherwise, I'll be okay. You're going to talent Boomkin? Are you doing it? You don't even care? It's not that it... So it does some damage. It's just... The greeting cat form damage and saying, oh, my team is definitely going to kick everything and not take any extra damage is a... It's a take. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the right way to play considering how low it's tuned right now. Like, this pull, I was in cat form the whole time, yeah? And I feraled Frenzy and everything. I'm going to do some damage here. That's going to be 33k. But it doesn't matter. Like, look at that was me full greeting, okay? And it doesn't really matter. But highly. Okay, they do testing on their own. They probably have models like we do with raid bots. Might be automatic. Okay. So it might be automatic. It's the first thing. Play Godlike, you can do DPS they want the class, but in reality, right. So you think they basically, if I'm understanding this, Marv, you think that their way of understanding tuning in the game is actually by simming perfect rotations. And they say, well, not perfect rotations, but they basically sim the character and they say, you should be able to do this. You think that's how they tune? Okay, so here I'm just going to go here like this. Perfect. Big healing for a second. I proc my tree. I go boom, boom, boom. Regrowth, regrowth, regrowth. As a healer, do I miss? Yes. As a tank, I actually miss it more as a tank than a healer, believe it or not. I miss it a lot because I plan my routes and pulls based on what I see with Omni cooldown, and I kind of don't like the fact that I can't do that. It's an adaptation. You can play around it, but it is kind of sad not to have it. It just feels weird, maybe. Weird might be a better... Yeah, weird might be better. Hard pull. So, yeah, do they sim using, like, the one button rotation then? Or, like, how does that work? I actually have a problem with sims in general. Like, I don't like simming at all. Just because so many people will sim their character and then assume that they're going to play perfectly, but actually they play very imperfectly. So they would be much better off not simming their character and making decisions based on their own. Does that make sense? Also, this boss now, I don't know why they buffed it. It was already kind of bad. This is Timu Dementius. And this boss is now pretty terrible to heal. So I'm going to have to manage mana. I have to dispel the tank. I think I just burned Trank like right away. You can't dispel DPS anymore. Yeah. That's what this is. He's Timu Dementius. And you have to make sure you get the soak. And if you don't, you're dead. But this is a kind of a crazy HPS encounter now. And I don't think they needed to do that. So you dispel the tank. Oh, shit. I might have to wait for his dispel. Hold up. I need a cough. But I also need to heal. So I'm going to need to somehow get mana on this boss. Because I'm going to go Oh, I need to res him immediately. What's my res? Okay, boom, got it. So here, what I need to do is actually just go and then dispel the tank. Because he's expecting it to dispel. Yeah, the tank, you could see his health drop. And he's a very good tank. I shifted my life bloom target, wrong global. Yes, it seems as though it actually does hurt right now. You can see his health there. I'm going to actually external him because if he dies, he's dead. Good. Yeah, that does hurt. You see his health drop a lot. Oh, did he just DC in the puddle? No. I got him. Holy. I might let other people die, but I had him for that period. Like, he's about to die right now because I actually did not... Oh, we're going to miss a soak. Fuck. I can't out-heal this. I can keep myself alive and the tank alive, maybe. And then we can res. 1 second. No, not like this. We have the key. I can get this soak. Who can I res? I definitely can't heal the rest of the soaks, though. Yeah, this boss just sucks. Why did they buff it like this? We can still come back and time it, though. Yeah. Right. It sucks now. Yup. It sucks now. All right, come back. All right, go again. No problem. See if we can still time it. Okay, hold up, wait. I want to know, who's Carfurious? Also, hi, also Zen. Yeah. So you still need to soak the circles, correct. Yes, but there's also... It's just a lot more damage now. Yeah. And when you soak the circle, dispel, basically. You called it mini Dimmy, which is true, because basically one mistake is GG. Yo. Also, Zen, what do you play? Cart is your mage friend. Oh, I see, I see. Are you excited for Resto Druid right now, RFA? He's Giga. Damn, alright. Are you excited for the new Resto Druid? I really could use full mana, but I don't have any mana food right now. Healer. I've only started playing beta yesterday. This is only on an 8. Ah, I see, okay. Do you like healing right now? So still learning the new keys. Okay. We're all ready? It would be good if the person... Okay. So I'm going to open with this, and that will help me get some mana, actually. And then I'm going to immediately dispel the tank, holy. And then I'm going to ramp. I do have... This is good. Oh, let me log in for this fight. This fight... There's fights like this. They did this with Windrunner Spire, too. And they really didn't need to buff the last boss of Windrunner Spire. It was already toxic for pugs. Nope, we're dead. Hold up. If I can out-heal this... I can out-heal this, and I think we have 1 res. Because we're not going to time it otherwise. We have a res. Let me get him. Hold up. What's my res? There you go. It's rebirth. There it is. Don't miss a soak. If we miss another soak, we're dead. No. Ouch. Yup. Hold up. I can res him, but then... Do we have somebody to soak that side? Okay, he's going to res over here. I gotta try to go over here now. Can I keep this alive? Can I? But this boss was already a pug killer. Like, why did they do this? It doesn't make sense. Because this boss was already going to kill everyone. I think we could maybe... Oh, the tank. Is this just a skill check? Kind of. But it's also a massive HPS check. And oh, no, we missed another soak. GG's. So, I think we would have had it there. Nope. Not anymore. Nope. Yup. It's just mechanics and throughput, I would say. I would say it's more of a mechanics check. It'll definitely wipe your groups before... Yeah. The main thing is that if we miss a soak, it's GG. That's actually the main problem with it. Yeah. Yup. Have to. And defensive when soak. Because you get double dot. Yeah. Yeah, it's just... Miss a soak. I play Resto Druid and this don't look fun. The funny thing is that Resto Druid is actually the best boss at... This is probably the best healer at healing this too. Imagine I was playing something that wasn't a Resto Druid. What's the item level you guys are testing in? Sorry, SCP. I got you. Do you show a Mystic Gear? Yeah, of course. We're all scaled to the same item level, which is 289. Everyone is scaled. Everyone is scaled here, though. You can out-heal it. I out-healed it once, but I couldn't out-heal it twice. We'll do it one more time. So all the gear that we're using, trinkets don't really matter, but all the gear, you have 4 set easily. And on top of 4 set, you can get whatever trinkets you want. Is that like myth track? So 289 is full myth track gear. Yeah. Can you kill boss so I can sleep? Yeah. Full myth track. So we won't be geared like this on the actual season start, which is a very good clarification, by the way. All right, let's just go ahead and get this here, though. So we're going to dispel the tank immediately, and then I'm going to ramp on everyone else. If I'm over here, that means the tank will need to get a soak. So this is pretty easy. He's going to get that soak there. I got him. 1, 2, 2. Nice. And then I'm going to go in and get a little bit out here with Feral Frenzy. Feral Frenzy is now a mana button if you don't care about your damage at all. I'm going to ramp on the Rogue because he'll probably need me. And then I have big healing here on the next soaks. So we're going to soak here. Also, the tank now has area denial because that's something they should have added. So they, by the way, they buffed this. So you see how the tank now has area denial? When you dispel the tank, he now gets this. So he has to go all the way out of range of the boss. So he has to go dispel himself over there. So if the fight lasts too long, then he's probably just going to die. There's sometimes they make decisions like buffing this boss, and I really don't know what was going through their head. It's not smart. Okay, big healing, no problem. I'm going to external that one. Okay, he had health potion anyways. Or healthstone. I can't see that, remember. I don't have Omni cooldown. What's his health percentage at? So I have time to just Giga heal this right now. I'm going to have to dispel the tank in a second. I got hit. No problem. I'm going to go soak this myself, and then I'm going to trank. Surely it's violent defensive for every... So, yes, that's... This damage that he's taking is with defensives, because this rogue that we're playing with is very good. He is a Giga player. I don't know what his IO is on live, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 4,000. Like, we're not... This is not something like casual. This ain't your everyday backyard rogue, you know. This is a rogue. This is not some dumpster raccoon... Actually, raccoons are awesome. So if he was a raccoon rogue, I would love him very much, but... This is a good rogue player. Whatever rogue can put out on beta is what he's doing right now. So we got this. It's basically if you don't miss soaks and I'm very good at healing, then we'll be okay. But it is kind of an insane amount of damage on top of the tank dispel, which is area denial on top of everything else. It's not the highest HPS I've ever had to do, but it's just annoying. Once you do mechanics, it's not too bad. 123k is not ridiculous for what it's worth, though. Yeah, his overall damage wasn't bad either, actually, surprisingly. Yeah, that's because we didn't miss a soak that time. Have you tested Pit of Sauron yet? Oh, yeah. We did that earlier. Double timed it. The problem is, if you keep it clean, you see the problem there, Zen? What you've said is identifying the problem with this boss. If you keep it clean, so this splits into 4 quadrants, and each DPS has to soak their puddle. Every single person in their quadrant. If you miss a soak, instant death. You have to actually... yeah. That forced RP is really annoying for no reason. Hi, Skeezy. And tank dropped the debuff in such poor places. That's because it's a brand new one, though. That debuff was not there before. And I don't know why they added it. It was very unnecessary. Yes. Yo. What's up, Skeezy? Skeezy, you know all I want right now, pretty much in my life, there's only one thing I want. It's cheesecake. Consistently. That's all I really want, man. Hold up. That doesn't seem right. Oh, we lost Mala. The ads you get are so funny. In the middle of that key... Okay. Not a Snickers or a... No, I want cheesecake. It's all I want. It's literally all I crave. It is all that I think about and all that I desire now. For my birthday, Kitty made me cheesecake. And it's so good. You know what? This video, I posted something, but I think it just... It's a good point, though. No, beta's still around. I'm down to do more. Yeah, that's fine, though. Yes. So, here. You're on stream, right? So basically... I dispel tank when he runs out, but it also does giga damage to him, so I have to heal him. Whereas before, I could just heal DPS. A white monster cheesecake. I had monster, actually. We do have Greek yogurt, yes. Cheesecake shake? A cheesecake milkshake, goddamn. I'm probably going to go eat cheesecake, like, right now. No joke. And I can't dispel a DPS either. And the overlaps are worse. Because of the timing of the dot, the overlaps are way worse on that boss. It's just a throughput check. It's not the worst. But if I wasn't Resto Druid, like, I would really struggle, though. You guys got to keep in mind, I have very strict dietary restrictions because of medical problems. So I can't eat the same way that other people eat. Hence why I don't normally get to have normal cheesecake. Both for food allergies and other reasons, though. Does the boss even do like an AoE? I don't think so. I think the tank can leave melee on that boss. I'm not 100% sure, though. All I know is that I'm just healing the whole time, though. Well played, Dusk. I see what happened there. So it's not a bad dungeon in hierarchies. Magister's Terrace is going to be the worst dungeon, I think, in hierarchies. To be fair, Difficulty-wise, Pit of Sauron's not that bad. That's, I think, going to be easier now that they nerfed the second boss. As long as they keep the second boss decent. The first boss is a giant HPS check. It's fun to heal, but you just kind of go there eventually. Otherwise, I think Pit of Sauron will be... I don't know if it'll be an easy weekly key, but it'll be all right. All right, let's see who's on. There are a lot of people on right now. I could tank if he wants to heal. Come energy through photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Are you a plant? Hold up. Asman G. His name. Do you want to play? Want a game? We need a tank. I am your son. Damn, Skeezy. How many beers deep are you right now? I am seriously gonna go get cheesecake though, real quick. We can do more, but I am literally though. If you need tank, then sure. Yeah, come. Yeah, come. We do need a tank right now. What tank do you want to play? This is why you have beta friends, man. God, cheesecake sounds amazing. It does, and it is. But however, I also found out recently something very disturbing, Coco. Trinkets and Coco. I found out something incredibly disturbing, which is that a friend of mine, right, a stream supporter, has never, ever had cheesecake before in their entire life. And I was just like, what? And he said, yeah, I've just never had it. And I was like, how is this possible? Right, that's exactly what I said. I was like, that's like never having cake. How did it happen? How does that actually, it's the weirdest thing. All of a sudden, he never, ever had cheesecake before. And I was like, what? I was shocked. And so, anyways, we started a communal cheesecake fund. I don't know when that will get filled, but for what it's worth, whenever that actually gets filled, I will. No, I'm going to buy him. He's in Australia, though. So I basically want to DoorDash him cheesecake, but apparently it's expensive. There is a communal fund, though, here. Right? The dare was the communal cheesecake fund. It's actually not for me. It's for Zan. I will straight up, I swear if that gets filled, I will actually find a way from Thailand to grab, I will deliver him cheesecake to his home. I mean that, and I will do it. I will. You can hold me to that. All right, we got a warrior for my rogue buff, too. Please still be cold. I don't know how you deliver cheesecake, and I hope it's going to be good. Well, the thing is, Kitty made me homemade cheesecake. And to be fair, she not only homemade cheesecake, she made me homemade cheese. She made homemade cream cheese and then other things. No, I think we actually have a tank coming. You can play whatever DPS you would like, Purple. We will do a 15 of something, though. No. Sorry. DPS damage is coming on his warrior. He should come on his warrior if that invite's going through. There you go. Oh, Skeezy says coward to me. We have full DPS right now. But Skeezy, I don't have you added on beta. Come here. Hold up. I need to target you. Can you add me on beta? I can't eat Oreos. I would get very sick. Remember, I can't have fiber. It's kind of hard for me to eat new things with fiber, man. Like this. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So it's a little hard for me to eat, but let me just go get a snack. I need like 5 minutes to eat the cheesecake probably because I'm going to really enjoy it. And then we can do whatever key we want. And then carrot cheesecake. Nope, no fiber. I can't eat fruits or vegetables. It's the weirdest thing, I know. But no fruits, no vegetables. Purple, what are you playing, man? Whenever you're ready, you tell me what you're playing. Otherwise, Skeezy is going to try to... He's going to try to weasel his way in. Do you like the new Frost Mage, Skeezy, by the way? Before I want to ask you this. You're a Frost Mage, and you're a high-ranked Frost Mage. What do you think about the new Frost Mage? You're a great person to ask. I'm curious. What we doing? 15 something to get it up. Cavern or terrace. Fine with anything. It feels uncomfortable. I made a Frost Mage guide yesterday. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. I made a frost mage guy yesterday. He's literally the #1 frost mage in the world. I know. So I would love to know your thoughts. It's a free one. It's not. It's you don't have to pay for it. But hold up. If you want to take 5 minutes to watch this video, it's mostly me making jokes. But what do you think? Hold up. Let me get this up. What? Where is it? Yeah, here. Come here. I haven't posted it to YouTube yet. It's just here. Okay. I'd be curious to know what you think about this. Same here, by the way. It's completely free. But if you have access to beta or pre-patch, try it. I really want to know how much damage people do with that basic guide. Yeah. No, take your time. Let me just go get some cheesecake out of the fridge. Mortiz, be about 5 minutes. Oh. Lords. It's so good. It's so good. Bro, I can't even... So I got this, right? And I started moaning downstairs while I was eating it. And all of a sudden, my lizard just started staring at me. It's actually that good. If you had to make me choose between Draenei near me and this cheesecake, I would choose this cheesecake. Wow. Unbelievably delicious. It is actually that good. You just finally got Kaveza? Nice. Congratulations. You know, I never did that mini boss. I never actually did Kaveza. Supposedly, it would be near impossible for me with my 200 plus ping. That's what I've heard. I've heard that it's very hard to do with ping, and I wasn't personally that interested in it. Oh my god. I'm in cheesecake heaven. Hey, Jukas, did you enjoy doing it for 4 hours? Overall, what is your experience with Kaveza? Did you have a good time with it? No. Do you want them to add another one like that for an achievement? Would you like them to add another one in Midnight or no? Oh my god. Dude. This is homemade salted caramel. You'd rather play Frogger and Trap. Damn. You have no idea how good this is. I'm gonna start crying. There. You guys, I'm serious. It's literally that good. I'm on my last bite. Ah, it's so good. It is so fucking good. God damn. Yes. Yes. Better than sex. Not even close. Oh. Except sex with a girlfriend. That's better than this. It's close, though. Holy fuck. God damn. Oh. Yes. What are we doing? What you have to understand is that for somebody like me who can't eat fiber for years, I have had digestive problems. People don't appreciate the fact that I am not strict with my diet because I'm trying to be healthy and have abs. I'm strict with my diet because if I eat the wrong thing, then I'll end up in the hospital. So, I physically cannot eat most things. Cheesecake is definitely one of them. But now, this cheesecake is homemade. The cream cheese itself was homemade. So I know I can eat it, it's safe. The actual caramel on top was homemade, so I know I can eat it, it's safe. Kitty actually homemade everything. So I can eat that. You don't understand how the taste buds change over years and years of never consuming anything like this. And then all of a sudden, you actually eat it, and it's just like... All right, what are we doing? Cavern. Cavern it is. Oh, my brain. I'm locked in for the day. I am now locked in for the day. Okay. Where were we? What's the best thing you've ever eaten, Coco? What's the best thing you've ever eaten? It's 1:39 through stream if you do want the reaction to it. 1:39. Oh, bet. Delicious. Yeah, what's up? What's up? Can you send me a log? I think I forgot to log the last key, to be honest. A focus route is not as hard as, but it's fast. Okay, that's fine. I want to see the prio damage. I might have logged the last key, but I don't live log. I'll have to upload it after. There'll be a certain chain pulls. They nerfed the mask in here, but even so. Is Ret Pally still great for overall DPS? So weirdly, Ret Pally was in a tough spot. I've played with a few really good ones, and to be honest, it's just not as good. Bringing cheesecake for the stream? Sorry, SB. No, I didn't. What do you think of Holy Priest? I actually think Holy Priest is in a very decent spot. La Cool J Gaming, if you're still there. Sorry. I'm Yelp. Look, I didn't mean to ignore YouTube chat. I just didn't have it open, though. Looking forward to the new Demo Warlock. I was playing Demo Warlock yesterday, and it was actually really good. However, it was so good that they're probably getting nerfed. Their single target was a little bit too buffed, so they're probably getting nerfed soon. You will see a Demo Warlock nerf almost certainly, because they're a little too powerful in raid. And I think they tune. Marev was saying earlier that they have some in-game, they have some inbuilt system for tuning, but I swear they tune off of Warcraft logs. I feel like the first week of raid, they look at the race to world first, and then they basically tune off of Warcraft logs. That's what I assume. However, I can't be certain about this. But it does seem like that, doesn't it? They also they do that with tanks and healers, which is a problem. Even in low keys, Ret was a little under-tuned. Even in low keys, correct. In my opinion, Ret is normally pretty good for overall damage. It might have a quote-unquote bad profile for whatever, but effectively, it's normally pretty solid, right? However, right now, it doesn't feel like that to me from what I have seen, and I've gotten to play with Melee and a few others, but they recently just also changed it a lot, where now they nerfed Herald, so you might play Templar. That might change its overall damage. I don't know. Unsure if that will or will not change things. We'll see. What are your thoughts so far on the Blizzard's DPS meter? Oh, the in-game one? Good question, actually. I think it's improved. It was literally terrible. It was the worst part of the UI, because I'm using base UI to heal all these keys. It was the one thing that I was just like, I really can't stand this thing. However, they have made some good changes to it recently, so I'm not as down bad about it as I was. I just hope that they continue to make good changes about it. Hi, Stellioni. So that's My problem with the damage meters is I don't want them to get complacent and think, oh, okay, we've done enough. They haven't done enough. There needs to be more, but it's significantly better than it was. So to be fair, much, much, much better than it was. Also, that is a crazy first pull. I like that first pull. Doesn't feel that bad to heal, actually. In other words, so for example, right now on these damage meters, I think I forgot to reset for this key, unfortunately. But what I can do is I can now see I have to reset now, so we won't have that first pull. It'll be logged. But I actually will be able to see the percentage of a breakdown, so I'll be able to say, okay, this does this here, that does that there, or whatever it ends up being. Also, Janinja, before you decide on anything, keep in mind there will be some massive tuning coming up at some point. I think in the give or take near future. I'm not 100% sure when, but they're definitely not done tuning beta. They're just trying to get pre-patch launched, and then my hidden cook is that after pre-patch is launched, you're going to see more tuning for beta. That's what I hope, at the very least. That's the prayer. I'm optimistic, because there's a few things that are just kind of not egregious, but there are still a few massive problems where some specs like Windwalker Monk are doing actually 30% less than the tank even. So that's pretty wild. I'm sorry, Trink. I see the Hex Guardian here. What's up, Skeezy? I'm an op? First of all, I, generally speaking, am a pretty chill guy, but I have found myself recently, I sort of oppose everything, so I am an op. I'm in opposition of nearly everything, though. That guide is so unserious. No, I mean that, though. Do you not think that will help people? Skeezy, do you... Actually, I'm dead serious, because I want to make every single guide that I make like that. I want to make it 5 minutes or even 60 seconds, less than that. As little time as possible, because I think that will help people. That's what's going to work. What do you think, Skeezy? Genuinely, you don't think that'll help people? For people who have never played Frost Mage. No, but no, you say come on. But you don't think so? I'm very serious. I intentionally... Yeah, no, I'm like, that's exactly how I want to do them. Because one of the problems with WoW is that if you're trying to learn a new specialization, people are so passionate about their spec that they accidentally forget what level you're trying to play at. It's like the biggest issue, I think, with World of Warcraft's knowledge and content creation, is that they forget. It's like, this person is asking you how to play Frost Mage, but they're asking you how to play it for their weekly +10, which is a very different environment, Skeezy, than a +20 that you might be doing. So the information that they need is simply not the same. I think that people who don't agree with that, I think they overestimate how... They underestimate how bad people are in a +5. Do you guys have any stories of some wild shit? Like, I've seen, for example, I saw a rep pally once in a +9. It was, like, later into the season, but I was helping a friend, so I was in a +9. And that rep pally, I couldn't figure out why he was doing no damage. But I looked at his breakdown in the key, and I was like, oh, he's not hitting Divine Storm. And I was like, he's not hitting Divine Storm or Final Verdict. I was like, what is he spending his holy power on? And it turns out that I asked him about it, and he said, oh, no. I'm taking a lot of damage, so I'm just casting Word of Glory. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. Like, there's a lot of damage in this key, so I'm just Word of Glorying. Like, it's okay. And I was like, what? You don't underestimate how bad people can be. I really think that that's like a gigantic... You know what I mean? That being said, he would really benefit from a guide that just said, hey, Rep Pally, by the way, you spend your holy power on this or this. And that's the whole guide. He would be like, oh, okay, I got it. That would make, like, way more sense. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let's say I was to make a rep pally guide. That's how I would do it. The people who are doing plus 20 skeezy, they don't need the guide. They're not going to watch. I mean, they might watch it because they're interested in Frost Mage, but effectively, they don't need it. Okay, we got it. Perfect. Line of sight down here. I like this route, by the way. I don't know what we're doing, but I like it. It doesn't feel that bad at all. Whee! Flying Druid. Oh, that? Oh, no, to be fair, that's 100% true, though. That's just because it was the first DPS guide that I made. DPSing is... No, you know what? No. Skeezy. I stand by that take 1,000%. 100,000%. There is no way that anyone could argue to me and convince me that DPSing is harder or just as hard as tanking or healing. No shot. Tanking and healing is significantly harder than DPSing, for sure. Oop, he had aggro. It's okay, we have a res. I think it's shift. Fuck. I don't know what my res is. It's control left, control right. Okay, that's the one. He might spawn in that trap, though. No, there's no way. Like, because, like, some DPS players are really like, oh, you know what? Like, DPSing is so hard. Like, I have to get my rotation perfect. I'm like, so do I as a tank and a healer, or everyone dies immediately. Like, I get one tapped if I don't get my rotation right. It's not the same. Hold up, let me just make sure I'm healing this properly. He's going to be in the ice for a second. He has a bleed on him, but he shield walls because he's a good tank. And then I'm going to go here, here, here. I got life bloom on myself. Let's just refresh that. I'm going to wait a second. I should be stacked for these traps. Istarl, you says, I've been spoiled in the War Within. I don't want to cast on HPAL. To be fair, honestly, when I was playing Herald, you don't have to cast Holy Light that much in keys because most keys are not requiring that type of healing. You can really get away with just nailing virtue windows. If you play double beacon, if you nail your virtue windows and you time things very effectively, it's not going to be like mandatory to be a caster Holy Paladin. There's just, you kind of fill with Holy Light, but you're not really, you will be able to kind of play without Holy Light too much, just so you know. If you're like really not into the caster Holy Paladin, which neither am I, to be fair. If I'm playing a Holy Paladin, I kind of just want to blast Lightsmith and stuff. I'm running Virtue for beta, but Pug tanks are getting slammed. That would be the concern. You do kind of get spoiled as a Holy Paladin playing Virtue with good tanks. So you have to be able to trust your tank. It's true. That's a very good point. If I didn't trust my tank, I could see myself playing double beacon. Underrated thing for healing is how much I have to worry about my tank. Like, since this tank is so good, I'm not even really keeping life bloom on him, which will make me healing this key much more successful. Just for the bleeds there. That being said, I should be stacked. I'm playing a little lazy because this boss isn't too bad. For Resto Druid, I can just do infinite HPS. Not that bad. But it would be a min-max for me to be more stacked. Perfect. Nice even damage breakdown. Good. Nice. That was a beautiful disengage. Wow, Cape. Cape, that was a thing of beauty right there. That was actually... I saw that, Cape. That was really cool. That was sick, to be honest. Oh, he's playing a pack. That was pretty awesome. That was like the most beautiful thing, though. Nice HPS we see. Oh, wait, shit, really? My bad. It's not because it's tuned a little off. HPS on this pull. How did he pull the other things but not pull these guys? Interesting. Just waiting till Season 1 to get into Mythic Plus. Have you done Mythic Plus before? Thank you for letting me know. I'm kind of lazy with those types of UI things, so because I don't really look at it too much in a key. You've never done Mythic Plus? Ooh. Hey, Marev. I was saying earlier, you were telling me that they have some sort of automatic tuning sensor in Blizzard, I still think, and I'm pretty certain about this, I really feel as though they just tune off of Warcraft logs. Right. You've never played retail. Not today. Question for you. If you've never played retail, how did you find my stream? I always wonder about this because I think it's really weird, but I actually think there's a ton of people who watch WoW videos who don't play WoW. Like, there's a lot of people who watch retail World of Warcraft videos, but they don't actually play retail World of Warcraft. The other games don't really have that as much. There was a comment I got on yesterday's video, and it just said... There was a comment on yesterday's video, and it just said, I'm not even going to bother watching this video because retail World of Warcraft is so bad, but I'm stopping by to leave a dislike. I was like, okay. They're running Smith for Pugs to the proc shields. I like Lightsmith for Pugs personally. Yeah. Occasionally YouTube just gets comments like that. There was one with perfect capitalization and grammar that just said, I hate you and I'm disliking this video. And I was like, what? They were like, I was like, okay. I was like, first comment, never seen this guy before. And I was just like, okay. Rough overlap there. I was like, okay. WoW players, man. Just gamers in general. I think there are a lot of people that don't watch, but still watch Race to World first. I don't know about the MDI. I feel like the MDI is more niche. But I do feel as though the Race to World first generates a lot of viewers who don't actually play WoW. The Race to World first for sure, though. The condensed milk. Wait, was it that clip? First of all, Slip, do you know how much condensed milk I've had today? Because the answer is a lot more than you probably think. Dude, I've had so much condensed milk today. Because I got a drink this morning, and they put like 2 tablespoons in, and then I just ate cheesecake and homemade salted caramel that was made with condensed milk. So, maybe like a 1/4 cup of condensed milk today. That's why I'm so locked in. That's why we're doing so well this key. Enos previously stated that Blizzard uses internal numbers to balance classes, but they're more keen on balancing player perception instead of raw data. Player perception. Desserts again? Always. Caster in the back. Hold up. Healing. This is a good example of how they've changed casters in Mythic Plus, because this guy doesn't one-tap you with a cast. It just applies a debuff to people, which does hurt for what it's worth. Like, it doesn't not hurt, but I can heal it. Whereas before in Prior, you just die, right? Like, if you get hit by something, you just die. And nowadays, I feel like it's a lot better because you don't just straight up die if a cast goes off. I can actually heal it, though. You'd explode within 5 big booms. If I ever have to worry about the sugar in my health, I will, though. It's not only Blizzard, but it's the player perception filter. I just don't think they actually do that, though, because player perception... I don't know, man. Do you think they balance off player perception? I don't feel like they do that. How would they know? The reason I don't think they do that is because if they were really into player perception, they would just balance more often. The one thing I don't like about Blizzard... Read the whole message. Sorry. I sometimes, while I'm in the middle of a key and I have to actually be healing or something, I miss part of the message. Okay, let me scroll back up. If it always feels unbalanced, then it's probably based on perception. You think that they intentionally unbalance things. Ooh, that's a cook. I actually don't disagree with that. I think that kind of, what I feel as though the game does, I don't have any proof of this, I feel like they decide a meta before the season starts. and then they just enforce it, but try to keep it within reason nowadays. But they definitely, I feel like intentionally they're like, nope, this is definitely what we want to happen. And then they just make it happen. Because one thing I wish they would do, and they don't do this enough, are just little small tuning passes when something is very obviously broken. So all they would have to do, by the way, to fix something like this, is you just go, oh, hey, after a few weeks of keys, we noticed that Enhancement Shaman is doing 30% more. Beastmaster Hunter is doing, let's be real, let's not embellish. It's doing 10% more than everyone else. We're going to nerf it by 1%. 1% every week until it's only doing 2% more. And then the game would be, you don't change the spec, you don't change the identity, you don't change people's investment. It'll still be meta, but they could just get it so it's doing 5% more if they want it to be good, but not 10%. Or like Frost Decay, they just gave it a little 3%, but if they just did 1 or 2% per week, I feel like they would get it a lot better, and at least it would be like, hey, player base, we're aware that this kind of sucks right now, but we got this. Like, we're on top of it, and I feel like I just wish that they communicated more with us. That's kind of what I wish they did. Is just a little bit more active communication from Blizzard would go a long way to solving player unhappiness. Just saying like, yo, by the way, we're aware that this thing is doing a lot of damage, and we're taking a look at it 3 weeks from now, even if it's not current or live. Even on beta, there's just some things that are like, hey, Windwalker monks, we know we're tuning you soon. Wouldn't that be nice to have? Just like a little bit of like a, hey, we know that you guys are down bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you Draenei incoming in your area very soon. Devour Demon Hunter looks really easy. I think that it's going to be an interesting spec. I don't know if people will or will not like it at the end of the day, because it's a ramp base spec with extension gameplay. You want to try Unholy DK? Unholy DK is super fun and super awesome right now. Follow, he says. All right. Where are we going? You guys line of sight, okay? Where does he want us to line of sight? Over here. Where's he going? I like this route. I don't know where we're going, but I like it. Unholy DK is super fun and also powerful, though. Can I play Windwalker Monk? Dude, I was playing with a good Windwalker Monk, and I out DPS'd them on my Guardian Druid easily. Like, it's pretty rough right now. To be a Windwalker Monk is in a tough spot. How did he pull this? I'm really curious, actually. I want to know how he pulled all this. This is a really good route for this place. Okay, we can one Swiftmend. Just watch the casters if we pull this into boss. Here we go, though. Any thoughts on the tank shortage? So, recently, they made some very good tuning for tank shortage. And I think that it will help a lot. I'm excited for what they recently did. It makes me a little hopeful because recently they basically just made a decision that they're not going to be nerfing please don't hit me. Oh, man, I should have moved. We don't have a res. Reset. There's no res. I kind of thought that the person might see that I was mid-trank and maybe move slightly, but they did not. I thought they would move toward the boss, but they did not move toward the boss. That was my bad. I kind of thought that the person, because I don't get targeted by this, but it still hits me when it walks through me. I kind of thought that that might happen, but in fact it did not. No. I was mid-trank. I returned, had to AFK because child. Oh, no problem. Very considering getting an AUG ready. AUG is doing pretty good right now, though. I was just tranked and the DPS was standing to the left. DPS standing to left. I was mid-trank. My bad. I won't trank there. It walked through me. I just don't trank there. It's all good. How are the keys going? Pretty good. The last boss of Magister's Terrace kind of sucks. But aside from that, pretty good. So just here, though. I don't know what to do on retail. Do you have access to Beta, Scarlet? because beta's pretty fun. And also, one thing I really like about beta, for what it's worth, is that people are a little bit kinder. Like, there's a little bit less pressure to do very, 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 very good. Because we're all learning, and we're okay with the fact that everyone's learning. At least it should be like that. You occasionally do have people on beta who are very, you know, whatever. But normally, people on beta are just like, oh, no problem. Go again, you know. You don't want to touch keys. You've never done like a 15. You don't have to have done a 15. People are doing 5s and stuff on beta. A lot of people don't want to be spoiled. And that's absolutely fine as well. Probably smart. It's just that I'm kind of a degenerate, and I really like gaming WoW. So I love beta because I can gear any character and play all of them. No way, guys. I actually have this. Hold up. Not all 4 at once. Not all 4 at once. Yeah, but like, that's the reason I like beta a lot, is because I can actually just play any character that I want to play. It's my favorite time to play WoW. Because I'm an ultaholic. Scarlet, do you know what you want to play? If you're going to do keys, if you're walking into keys for the first time in Midnight, do you have any idea what you would actually want to play? Yeah, what are you going to play? Hold up. Let me apply 1 bleed, and then I'm going to ramp. This one I do have Trank for. If that goes toward me, I just move over here and health potion myself. Don't walk into this guy. Perfect. And now I can Trank here. Perfect. Easy, easy. You're going to play Devour Demon Hunter. All right. I wonder if people will like it. I've gotten such mixed feedback on this, you know. More faith in WoW after watching that presentation. I want to go read your comments about it, but I kind of need you to copy paste it. Can you send me again how they tune World of Warcraft? Because I missed it the first time, and now I'm going to need to scroll up because I was in the middle of this key. Convoke covers this one. Get blooms out. And then this one touches. Perfect. This boss is going to be the pug killer, man. They need to nerf this boss. He's not actually that bad, to be fair, but it's just going to kill pugs. Okay. Dynamic system. Ian highlights that perception is what truly matters when dealing with players in a community. He states that the goal of a balanced designer is not to balance numbers, but to balance how people feel about those numbers and the player experience. Can you define and explain, if that is the case, why Windwalker Monk is doing as bad as it is? Even on retail right now, can you explain why? I don't feel like everyone thinks that they're it's just the target cap specs in particular. Like, I don't think people are very happy about things. But if that's their goal, then are they just failing the goal? Because if it's perception based, then there's a people with perception issues. There's a lot of perception issues. Oh, I'm not there. I've seen some Windwalkers do great. No, so, like, to be fair, I've also seen Windwalkers do great, and I'm not saying they're actually unplayable, but it's close to unplayable. No, that's not true. I've played with a lot of good ones. I've timed, I think the highest streets that I have timed is one of the higher ones early on in the season. We timed the Holy Paladin and a Windwalker Monk. Frequent touches. To make play shift from infrequent... Dude, they don't do that, though. I actually want them to do that. It would be awesome if they did more frequent patches, but actually one of my biggest problems is the fact that they don't. Whoops. I wasn't expecting that. Hold up. I don't know what my res is bound to. I don't really play Druid on beta that much. We have to reset. It's a reset. What is my click casting? I thought it was alt left or alt right. Yeah, it's frequent. I don't think it's frequent, though. If we're really good at this, hold up. I really need to figure out what my res is bound to. Hi, Mavina. You're the third Mavina I've had in my stream. I hope they change the twin fight and Windrunner. I think the twin fight is okay, actually, though. Message if you want anything. Ooh. What store? It's better than it used to be, that's true. But I wish they did do more frequent tuning with just a little bit here or a little bit there. That I think it would help the game a lot. Or at least, like I said, at least talk about it. It's control right. That's a weird thing for my res. I apologize. Here, go, go, go. You can still time this right now. What? You want the drinking yogurt? Ooh, drinking yogurt doesn't sound bad, actually. That doesn't sound terrible. Range. This boss shouldn't be that bad to heal. Wah! Help, I've fallen behind. Yeah, I keep in mind that a lot of my perspectives on WoW, they're just opinions. My opinions are just opinions. They're no different than anyone else's opinions. However, all I think about is not my experience playing World of Warcraft, because I'm going to play regardless. Like, I'm not worried about my experience playing the game. I'm worried about... Fuck, hold up. No, I gotta focus. If I get hit by this, we're in trouble. Please don't target the healer. Like, for example, there are some healers that are not going to be able to make a plan with movement for this boss. If that totem didn't target the healers, then this boss would be significantly easier, and that seems like a pretty easy thing for them to tune. Just make the totem not target the healer, because some healers can't move while casting and they're going to panic. That change wouldn't hurt anyone, but it would make the gameplay experience significantly better, because what I can see happening is that in a plus 12, you're going to have that happen a ton. Like, there's going to be a ton of examples, we got the last one already, of the healer not being able to heal this fight, specifically because of that mechanic. And I think to myself, is that a good? I think to myself, they still have time to tune this and just take a look at the fact that that mechanic doesn't have to target healers. We have to try to kill him in this burn. I'll do as much damage as I can, which is not a lot. Does that make sense? So I just think, I try to get out of my own head and think from a general player perspective, what is actually going to make the game better? That's what I think to myself. Nice job. Good save, good save. Good save. Nice route. I like the route there. I like the route. Instead of nerfing the top ones, just bring the bottom ones up. I could see the problem of if they just buff underperforming specs, then eventually you are going to actually have a problem. Oh, see him work. Moving Blade Fury. Well, we're playing with a rogue right now. I wonder what his thoughts on Blade Fury. Before you actually go to work, Mort, if you're listening, what would they do to rogue? Yeah, we could do Taurus again, sure. What is a slushy okay instead? Ooh. What about Mistweaver right now in its current state? So, Mistweaver. Yeah, well, the problem is that in the last set of patch notes, literally, Rogue didn't get anything. They're gonna go meet... Okay. I kind of do want a Monster Energy drink, but I'm not gonna get one. Okay? Yeah, Monster Energy doesn't sound terrible, but no, don't get me that. Soda water. I want plain soda water. I've already had so much sugar today. GG's, Mort. Thanks for coming. You have to try Havoc. Yay. Was that Havoc? Well, you were playing Havoc there. Not bad. Alright, let's do Terrace. So now I have a 16 and a 17. Just drink a coffee instead. I am so bad with caffeine, I actually can't do it. Resto Druid talents on Archon. People do some weird stuff on 19s. No, I haven't, Harith. I've just been sort of playing whatever my cook is, which does infinite HPS, but I have to actually be healing. We want to do Terrace again? 15, right? Let's just do 15. It was deceptively hard, some of the stuff we did. Did he answer the Mistweaver question or get a Woo-stracted? I got a Woo-stracted for sure. So the Mistweaver question is this. That's a tuning problem. I think that what they need to do to make Mistweaver feel good in keys is to buff Ancient Teachings. Chi-Ji could use a little bit of a buff too, but healer cooldowns in general are a little bit meh. And Chi-Ji does still feel, at least for me when I was playing it, in up to 15s, decent. Like, it doesn't do nothing. Like, I do notice the shield of it, and I do kind of benefit from it still. The actual mastery procs are nothing. But the main thing with Mistweaver, in my opinion, is you are a Fistweaver. There's a caster build you can play. It was bugged. It's been nerfed now. But you're a Fistweaver. And I think that you should be able to heal through fist weaving. But at the moment, you can't depend on that. Ooh, an Aug. All right. So I think that is how you would fix Mistweaver, is either give them a tiny bit more damage, but enable a caster playstyle if people do want it. Or simply buff Ancient Teachings translation through healing. I know there's a few bugs with it, but if the bugs are just armor based or whatever, that's not going to actually fix it. You would need to literally buff it. The problem is that with any sort of damage conversion healer, I felt this on Voidweaver Disc as well. Any healer that basically heals through doing damage, they nerf the damage of healers to the extent that all of those abilities now feel bad. Like that I think. Because it can't have one more playstyle per patch. Yeah. How many people... We talked about the tuning stuff earlier, and honestly... Let me read up a little bit, though. When we're liking a good designer, their one designer have several classes. So that's what I'm saying. How many people actually work on the specs in World of Warcraft? Oh, no problem, Purple. No problem. GG's. See you later. I do wonder that. Sometimes I look at how they tune, and I look at how the game is, and I just think to myself... How many people really work on this? Because it seems to me that Mage might have 3 developers and Windwalker might have 0. Yes, that's a big problem with fist weaving. The range issue with fist weaving is a issue. But if you ever have to leave melee, you have to make a plan for it. How do you feel about HPAL? Played a little bit myself. Feel like it's lacking. I think Lightsmith felt a lot better to me in Pugs. Up to a pretty decent level, I was able to just straight up be like a fist weaving monk and kind of be in melee and just blast damage on Lightsmith, which doesn't do a lot of damage, but I was able to heal pretty reliably, not with melee wings, regular wings, and with Virtue. And I was able to pass HPS checks on a 15 before tuning with that. That being said, I could see at a higher level that you would just eventually run out of healing. But for most key levels, I feel like Lightsmith was really clean. Herald might have a higher cap if you play it perfectly, but I didn't like it. If you're casting Holy Light, everyone's playing Herald at a higher level, so I don't think a lot of people were really testing Lightsmith. That's one of the issues, again, with beta is... Wait, that's on Mythic. One of the issues, again, with beta is just people are... still trying to play meta builds and meta specs instead of just trying things. Not like one good designer for Mage and one bad designer. Can't handle design spec when it's triple DPS, for example. That's true. I can see that, Murav. But Blub, does that answer your question? I honestly feel like HPAL's okay. I do have to update my healer tier list, though. For sure I do. I vaguely remember this dude. Does anyone want to come DPS before I fill this group? We have an AUG in here. I do have to update my healer tier list, and I will change the rankings because it has been like 2 months since I made that. Like, it was pretty early on that I tested all the healers. There have been a lot of changes. But if you told me that now was logging on, and I had to heal now, yeah? And Gingy was in a key, or whoever. And I was like, big group, guys. Don't mess up. I would want to bring Resto Druid. Is Priest somewhat up there? I genuinely think that Holy Priest has a lot more merit than before. Whereas before, Holy Priest was literally troll. Now Holy Priest is... It's got way more going for it than it did before, though. I find this to be interesting. I was just linked this. We could just take a marksmanship hunter. I want to see what they are post buff. That's fine. I really appreciate the try. I appreciate the try. You know what? Fair enough. If you tried to... So honestly, like, straight up, if you were playing Holy Priest on retail, you're almost trolling your group. I love the way you lead your streams and test, no pressure, pure fun. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm competitive, Ice Fresh. When the season starts, like, I'm competitive. But if I ever am playing a game, like, if I'm ever playing World of Warcraft, and I'm, like, just not having a good time, and I'm, like, yelling at people, and I just feel irritated, and I'm just, like, having bad vibes, why am I playing? Do you know what I mean? Ice, like, what? And it's beta. Who cares? It is actually amazing to me that there are people who would be meta pressuring and yelling at people because beta? What? That is wild to me. And it does remind me that WoW sometimes has a little bit of a weird vibe to it. You know what I mean? There are a handful of people I know that don't change their class for any content. One of them is an H priest. You know, so H priest right now, here's the thing. I'll actually tell you the real... This would be on the healer tier list, so y'all are getting a spoiler, okay? You have to think about it like this, okay? Here, number 1. All healers lost their kick, which was an inadvertent buff to priest. So priest, by the way, gets buffed. Because previously, it didn't have a kick, but now no healer has a kick, except Resto Shaman on the 32nd. So now Priest is a little buffed just purely because of that. On top of this, the keys are a little bit less one-shot profile and more HPS profile. So the conversation was, if you're bringing a Priest, you might as well always bring a Dis Priest, because Oracle has shielding and prevents the DRs. And it gives your group DR, yeah? So everybody's obviously going to want to play... Or, like, Dis Priest. Like, why would you play Holy Priest? It's Troll. Because there's no DR. It's just HPS. But now the keys, maybe at the highest level is different, but but most beta keys are like, you need Thorough-Put. If Holy Priest notoriously has had Thorough-Put in raids, that's not something it doesn't have. And so all of a sudden, I feel like you actually have a little bit more potential viability for Holy Priest. Okay, now we continue with the different things that are happening. It is also not as squishy as it used to be, okay? Throughput, not Thorough-Put. Oh, is it really? Wait, Conan, what? For real? It's Throughput? It's not Thorough-Put? What? Wait. No. 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 No, it's like 100%? Are you sure this is not just like a weird like tomato thing? Like you could pronounce it either way, right? No, wait a second. No, you could it's probably one of those that you could say it either way. No, it's not even. Well, I disagree. Like I feel like I think it's like Thorough-Put. I think it's y'all understand what I'm saying, so it's probably fine. You can say that either way. They have different meanings. Oh, conditions. Bet. All right, what's the other meaning? Throughput. No, hold up. Throughput sounds like I'm going to be some weird, like, really stocky dude and throw it. Okay, go look at the Google. It's Throughput. Yeah, fuck me, man. My brain crashed. Hold up. I'm Googling this right now. Thorough-Put. Thorough-Put is a common misspelling of throughput. Ah, goddamn. While Thorough-Put was an archaic term, today's focus is on through. So I'm just old. Well, hold up. It just says no. It just basically Google just says I'm just old. It's an archaic term. Yeah, no, I mean I'm just getting older. That's fine. It's archaic. Yeah, I'm just archaic. Bet. All right. So, anyways, Holy Priest has the necessary. I'm gonna call it through putty. All right, bet. So Holy Priest has the necessary through putty All right. Google now, through putty. So the thing with through putty is that it might actually be a battle and a tuning thing of does disc or holy have more thorough potty, and whichever one has more thorough potty, that might actually be played. The other thing to understand is that defensively, both specs of priest are now tankier than they used to be because you have flash DR and fade still. Holy Priest and Discipline Priest didn't actually really lose any defensives in the pruning. You still have Desperate Prayer, whereas before, other healers had a lot more buttons. Now, it doesn't feel like a super squishy healer either. So there's a few things going for basically Priest in general, right? Much love, but English. All right, bet. I'm 56, it's thorough. All right, Tyrant. You can't be both old and use the term bet. Well, listen, the thing is, I challenge this notion. I can be both old and use the word bet. I've always been like 83. They don't get an extra buff for just aesthetics. Yeah, that's also true. But actually, so does that all make sense of an argument of why I'm not saying it's going to be meta. I'm just saying it's definitely better. It has more potential than it used to. That's mostly what I'm saying. The arguments I'm making is just, if it did really good healing, Holy Priest is not completely out of the question. How bad is Mistweaver and his HPL fun? So wait, where are we going? This route here. I will take, wait, we're doing like a route. Hold up. This is some, okay, I will say, I like, this tank is good, obviously, and we're trying to get like a higher key route. But if you ever if you're starting a key and you see this in party chat, just know it's Jover, right? Every time that somebody starts saying this much before the key's over, right? You remember this route? Mass and Invis can help people who do. Basically, we do hallway with the library. Hallway with the library. Because the mobs all random attacks. The charge guys will random people and cast. You will get down all the way. Wait, where? Also, healer, don't tell me till you get down. Because the charge is still. Wait, which hallway? Because wait, hold up. I will take aggro fear for a second. Which one, DPS? Are you on stream? Yeah, I pull and go. Don't worry. Wait a few seconds. Which hallway? Invis is after first pull. So the hallway after first pull, we're gonna go through that. Okay. Okay, I'll clarify. So to clarify, yeah. After first pull, we invis. We just invis through, yeah. We'll do this up first. No. We can do it. I'm down. I can heal. I could probably heal anything. I'm on a Resto Druid. I'm not worried. Then we'll do them separate and chain pull mage. You know what? I'm just gonna go with the flow, and I'm gonna see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm down to clown. Let's do it. All right, bet. Yo, what's up? I'm testing Brewmaster tank. What are your I don't actually know. No. It's fun. It's beta. We try anything on beta. Because when I pull mage, I won't be around, guys. Let's do it during pull. I don't know what's happening here, but let's do it, though. No. Let's send it. I'm down. But I don't understand, to be honest. I don't understand it until I see it. I am the sort of guy, I don't understand until I see it. So if I watch a video, for example, right? But if I see a video on a raid boss and my raid lead says, yo, you got to watch this video, I'm going to fail the encounter. I am the sort of person who I absolutely need to be in it. I need to see it first. All right, bet. Send it. You know what? Let's do it. Sure, let's do it. I'm very down. Do you have aphantasia? Correct. That is what I have. Now, recently, however, I've had aphantasia my whole life. Now, hold up. We have like 5 other things that we were talking about, okay? Yes, I do. Now, it's been really fucking weird because recently I have been able to see images in my head. Do you have ADHD? Absolutely. I stopped at 20. I had to start thinking how old I am, but part of my brain is ancient. Yeah. I grew up with a lot of mental health problems. Guys, you don't get like this without mental, without significant depression and isolation. Don't think about a pick elephant. So here's the thing. This morning, actually, I had a dream last night, and I woke up, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? I remember this. And I could see it so clearly. And the weirdest thing is that I used to take a lot of medication, yeah? And when I say a lot of meds, I don't think people quite understand. Like, I was on a significant amount because I was very, very sick, and I had a lot of health problems. So I had a ton of medication I had to take all the time, okay? But now, in the last 3 years of my life, I've gotten off a lot of this meds. I was on, for example, lithium, very high doses, for 17 years of my life. From 6 years old all the way to 23. I am 29. And I swear that shit is having crazy effects on my brain. One of the things that it's doing is I can actually remember what's happening now. Okay, so wait, what's happening here? We're going to die. Hold up. This is not going to work. We're going where? We're going down here. I can probably heal this a little bit, but people are line of sight all the way down here. Okay, trank. 1 second, though. It is. So I have to somehow heal those dots. Oh, I see. So he wants to just bring these guys down here so that you can fight these 3 books with it, yeah? Yeah, so actually, though, it freaks me out that I can kind of remember things now. Like, I can picture my dad, as an example. My dad was here last week, and right now, if I think about my dad, I can kind of see his face, which is wild to me. Because my brain doesn't know how to process that. And I woke up this morning, and what I couldn't figure out for the life of me, by the way, I was like, I felt like such fear and anger and all the emotions because I thought it would be in one pull. Sure, we can do that. Because I couldn't tell that it was a dream. Because it felt so real. And I'm not used to that. It is a strange thing that's been happening, though. And yeah, Mark Souls. I know. But we do it. So that is a strange thing, though. I found out yesterday that there are people who don't have an internal monologue. Yeah, isn't that wild? Can you imagine? Does anyone here? There's no way that I feel like gamers definitely have this. Out of curiosity, does anyone listening right now not have an internal monologue? Oh, sorry. I got you. I need to figure out my druid's frames and why some things don't show. We're going all the way up here. This is a route. I'll just go along with it. I don't know what's happening, but sure. Internal. I have both internal and external. I get told to shut up a lot. Yeah, you should see me at family dinners. My problem is that I don't like filtering. Like, I can, but I don't like it. If I have to filter, I will, but I try to live my life in a way where I don't have to. Yeah, I have multiple personalities. That's why I never get bored. When I was younger, I was sent away to residential, right? And when I was in residential, for a little bit, though. Can you res me? Oh, this is the boss. Holy. We pulled the boss. I didn't realize we pulled the boss yet. I couldn't sleep. I've never been a good sleeper. I've always been very bad at sleeping, right? Residential. Like a mental health treatment facility. Like, I couldn't be at home. Like, I was kicked out of 3rd grade. I'm an elementary school dropout, by the way. This is random facts about me. I don't know why we're on this tangent, but yes. If you didn't know this about me, I am actually... This is a true story. They kicked me out of 3rd grade. I was a very sick kid. Like, I just had a lot of problems, and I feel like people do not... People are so... You see what you see today, and people forget sometimes that... Yeah. Oh, we're pulling this guy with the boss. Okay, so we just heal the ignition. No problem. I have trank. Interesting. So you could do this when the boss hasn't done his AoE. If the tank's pretty stable, I feel like you would defensive right now, and I would just heal everybody up. Requiem. The first one that I was in, I was 8, 9 years old. But my whole life was defined by this for a long time. I was always a chronically ill. I was always the sickly kid. And to be honest, I'm kind of over it. At some point, I realized, like, I don't want to always be the sickly one. Like, I kind of want to be strong. And I've always wanted, all I ever wanted when I was a kid was to be, like, a normal person. That is legit all I ever wanted. I think that people who are genuinely sick and have struggled with chronic illness, you know, the only thing that you really desire at the end of the day is to have normal people problems. You don't want to have no problems because you're probably smart enough to realize that a life with no problems would be boring and you wouldn't have any sort of sense of achievement. But you are probably smart enough then to realize you want normal people problems. You just don't want to worry if you can move the next day or function or this or whatever, you know? Alright, this route, you can do it, but it's a lot of constant healing. I'm okay with it. You know, as a healer right now, if I just do HPS, I don't actually mind. I know some people really like to do healer damage, but the truth is my 8k is going to carry me just fine. Because I just keep everybody alive during this, and I'm good. That's it. That's all you have to do. Yeah, boss is dead. I like this route. It's a very clean. It's definitely fast. I'm pleased you were feeling fitter. Nothing good vibes in my comments. I used to be able to turn off with meta. Yeah, you're good. Some people leave pretty crazy comments. Wait, was that... That wasn't you, Tyrant. There was somebody who left a comment earlier, but I don't remember who it was. That wasn't you who left the... There was somebody who... I posted a video and it was like... Let me external this. Hold up. Hard pull to heal. And they were like... Specifically disliking. Because, wow. I'm dead. Hold up. I did not pre-ramp that. I thought we were going left. This is not a dungeon that you can heal lightly. And also, my druid cannot see this. You will literally just die with any overlap here. 1 second. I need a luck in. Yup. If you get unlucky, I need to figure out how to show this on my frames. Like, it's actually... I can't see who the glaive goes on, and it would help me heal this a lot if I could. It would make a very big difference for me if I could do that. I have cooldowns if we're doing the triple. You can go triple. Yep, do it. You can pull it. I can do it. You can pull all of them if you want. I just need to know because I'm holding cooldowns now. My main problem with Resto Druid is the fact that sometimes I just greed my cat form too much. And every single time I ever die to being in cat form, I think to myself, this wasn't worth it. In a weird way, it's easier to heal all of this. Can triple that in future. Yeah, it's just not worth it ever. Like here, he's supposed to use a defensive of some kind. I can't see if he does or does not, but otherwise you just pre-ramp it. I can't see who this is on, but it doesn't matter because I don't actually require that information to heal on a Resto Druid right now. Also, I need mage food after this. Mage food as well, please. I want to go healer. But since healer's supposed to be a 4th DPS... No, actually. Not anymore. Guylan. It's a subject of conversation, and I'm not sure if people are really happy about this or not. But effectively, you are not a DPS anymore. That is actually just not a thing. Healers do such low damage that you will be just fine to not DPS keys. I know a lot of healers are actually upset about this, but I think that overall it's a good healing change. Ready? Oh. Now, the question is, does anyone have a res? Anyone res? I bet reset the dungeon. Let's go again. Reset the dungeon. Go again. Hold up. One thing that is a very good healer tip, by the way. Very strong healer information. Reset. Hold dungeon. We don't time like this. I want to time it. Zan, we gotta get you cheesecake. The communal cheesecake fund has not been funded, but I swear I need to get you cheesecake, dude. You gotta try it. We were talking earlier. Coco, that's the one. That guy right there. Shout him out. Single him out. Riot. He has never tried cheesecake. That's the one. Coco, that's the one. How is it possible? Hello, sir. Hi, Nap Boy. A long time no see, man. If healers don't DPS, then Dispriest is dead. So one of the problems, by the way, is that because healers do such low DPS, Void Weaver, okay? Void Weaver is kind of feeling rough as a Dispriest. Oracle's fine. And also Fist Weaving as a Mistweaver feels bad because your damage conversion is not quite there. You see? Like, the damage conversion is just not there right now. Slap? Morning, dear sir. How are the guides doing? I'm working on them, Onos. I'm working on them. I really want to make the proper quick guides for everything. I did Frost Mage yesterday and had a pretty good time. I think the Frost Mage guide was really good. I think it'll help people. Anyone who wants to play Frost Mage, it should just be there. Give us on stream. Oh, sorry. I was saying that one of the biggest skills for healers is, since I also tank and I know that boss, I always drink inside the circle. You know how other healers, they lag behind the group to drink? My mana will never be a problem. Don't worry about me. Because I'll start drinking, and I can keep drinking as the boss gets pulled. It's just that a lot of healers, for some reason, what they do is, if the whole group is in front of them about to fight this pack, they're back here. But because I'm also a tank player, I'm always up here. So I'll always be able to micro-sit between combat if I absolutely need to. So you never have to worry about my mana, basically. I appreciate it, though, because as a tank player, I also wait before pulling that boss. But otherwise, if your healer is just in the circle, I can be drinking as something as you pull the boss, because I don't have to ramp for several seconds. Like, the damage on that boss is high, but it only happens several seconds into the fight, so I can just be drinking for the first 5 seconds, no problem. It's something that a lot of healers, just for some reason, they just don't do. They're like back here, but yeah, that's why that was a little miscommunication. And in the hallway, I just got clapped. I thought we were going left, so I didn't pre-ramp. Listen, cat. Yeah. The tank tier list is updated. The healer tier list, I need to work on. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I'll lock in this key. We can do it. The second pull is wild. That's a hard pull, but I think we can do it. Yeah, no problem. You do your route. I'm good. I'm chilling. I like the route. I got no problem with it. Let me just lock in a little. Yeah, yep. I also probably have to stop. You know, I'm sitting like this the whole day, and my knees are kind of feeling it now. So I've been sort of like, this is how I've been sitting, right? And I feel like my knees are really starting to feel it. So now I have to sit elsewhere. Where can I find your frostbite? It's free over here. Yeah, I sit weird. You know why I was sick, right? I have a genetic condition where my joints do this. Look, ready? Look at the camera. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boop. 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 There's no bone in my thumb, basically. It's not like I don't have to apply a lot of pressure. It just does this. But all my joints do that. So it took me a long time to get, like, strong because I had to... Every time I'd work out, my shoulder would just go... Boop. Boop. Like this, and it'd go... Yeah, it's called EDS. It is annoying, but you make do. Where? It's on Patreon. It's free on Patreon. The Frost Mage guide is completely free on Patreon if you do want it. Dis should have decent DPS. It's weird because normally, yes, but actually Dispriest does the same damage as everyone else. All healers do about the same. Don't look at my Resto Druid because I'm just kind of whatever, though. Frost Mage and pre... How do you know if in pre-patch what it's going to be? It's not on YouTube yet. If I put it on YouTube, okay, it would be just for YouTube members. But it's not on YouTube yet. I will consider it, but that would be for YouTube members. All of my actual guides are going to be more closer to whatever. Yeah. Those are going to be if I take the time to make a bunch of videos, I have to be able to earn something from them because I actually do have a real job and you have to have some return on your time. The guides take me time to make. But the Frost Mage guide is really straightforward. Want unwanted advice? Yeah, sure, Sarah. Send it. I don't mind. Roar, then I will invis. Yep. All right, let's go. Is it your key or my key? I won't be line of sighting with you guys because I'll pull mage. Right. Watch. Okay, can you send it to me? Can you send it to me on Discord? I don't really understand what I'm doing, but I'm learning. All right, cool. Send it. This is all a very big learning opportunity. I'm still very new at WoW content creation. So, whoops. All right, send it. Minus pods, okay. Yeah, me too, man. But Cape, how do you know that Frost Mage is going to be bad, by the way? Out of curiosity. What is the... Because right now on beta, it's incredible. So why would it be bad on pre-patch if it's good on beta? Big Resto Druid damage first pull, because I don't really need to do any healing. Just watch this guy for a second. Icy Vein said so. Oh, because talent points. Right, because you don't get your ape. Oh, wait a second. Oh, really good point. I didn't even think about that. Wait a second. You don't get your Apex talent on beta, on pre-patch. Wait a second. Right? Is that correct? Is that right? Whoa. What do you... So on pre-patch, like, so for example, tomorrow pre-patch comes out, right? You're saying there's just no Apex talent. Okay, so we're going to line of sight down here. I'm going to be giga healing for a second because people are going to full send their defensives. And I have to swift mend this and then into... I'm line of sight now. And then here is going to be the Trank. That is incredibly fascinating because I have no idea how keys will get done in that case. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, how are you going to play the game? Like, how will you game without... Interesting. Because a lot of the tuning and pruning kind of is dependent on you. Man, pre-patch is going to be so broken. I am actually excited to see just how broken things are. I know people have a different perspective on this, and yesterday I released the video, but like, damn, dude. That's a really good pull. That's an incredibly good pull, actually. Like, I like it when the game is broken because it's fun to play. I don't think that WoW always needs to be perfectly balanced. I think that sometimes the most fun you have in the game is when things are completely broken. That's actually fun. A lot of people disagree with that, and they think they're worried about the season, which I understand, by the way. Like, I understand that you don't want your spec to be bad in the season because then you're just going to have a miserable time sitting in the city all day. But overall, pre-patch is going to be a giga time to play, most likely. Okay. So we're pulling boss here. That shouldn't be a problem. Just watch my tank. I like this route. Yeah, I got you. I got you. But I'm just going to have to watch out and make sure I position myself perfectly for this knockback. No problem here. I'll stand in the puddle for a few seconds. It doesn't hurt that bad. Probably should have dispelled him, no problem. Nice rescue. Apply my bleeds to this guy for the phase. I could even stand in the puddle if I just have hots on myself. Hold up. Big dam. Even a convoke onto boss, just straight up. Big damn. Perfect. Cool. My damage is now set for the boss, and then I heal people. Look at that. Things are now kind of showing up. I wonder if the glaive will show up. That's what I actually need to see in the middle part of this key. All right. New Unholy DK will go live on pre-patch. So Unholy DK was recently changed a bunch, but once again, that's sort of dependent on having Graveyard and Necrotic Coil. Because they've been tuning around the Apex talents, though. So I definitely got knocked back into a pack that I probably wasn't supposed to pull, because I looked away for like a second. Hold up. We are all very dead. Now, actually, I can heal this. Because that was the trank. I go send the res right now. And then I just focus, focus, focus. I convoke now. And then I swiftmend the hunter. The ignition comes out here during the refueling protocol. So I just have to have massive HPS, but it's no problem. Just don't let an orb hit the boss. If no orb hit boss, then we're okay. Watch the mage here. External the mage. Swiftmend the mage. Here. Wait. 3, 2, 1. I actually healed this. Okay, no problem. Playing Pyro on boss if I'm playing Resto Druid is actually acceptable. Maybe not. Maybe not right here. This is the hard one. I don't need to bear form, but I do need to make sure everybody's full health for this next knockback. 3, 2, 1. All good. Ignition gets cast like in a second. I can't see the actual debuff, but I got it. No problem. Easy money. Bet. Okay. Locked in, though. So here's the thing. If they're balancing around Apex talents, but you don't actually have Apex talents in pre-patch, then, like, Unholy, like, 40% of their damage is basically the Graveyard and Necrotic Coil, which is their Apex talent. After you cast your army, you get your abilities transformed. But they've specifically tuned it around that. So now I'm really curious to know what pre-patch would be like. So see how I'm up here? I just microsip, so mana's not a problem. Interesting. Fascinatingly interesting. Okay, ramp. Make sure I just get some rejuves out at least. So I still can't see the glaive, no problem. As long as there's no nasty overlap, we'll be okay, though. Right. So, all I can tell you is that pre-patch, whatever I thought it was going to be, it would be even buggier than that, which is pretty wild to think about. That would be... It is actually going to be such a buggy mess. From here, just watch whoever gets the glaive. It's going to be on me, it looks like. Dude, it's actually so much fun, though. No, that's the thing, though. Yes. Believe it or not, yes. I am excited to not be able to play the game. Funny you mention it. And the reason is because sometimes the most fun WoW memories are not when things are well balanced, but actually when the game is incredibly broken. You know, I'm going to be real with, like, that's the truth, though. Like, you remember the times when things, sometimes it's just fun to play when things don't work the way you want them to. Okay, infinite healing. Lost my Aug Evoker. He's going to triple this still, probably. I can do it. Put this on the Aug here. I have 2 stacks of the glaive on myself, so here's where I trank. And this is the HPS. The last time I did 180k when it was actually tripled, because the glaive does stack. It's just that if you have infinite... If you're playing a Resto Druid, you can probably make this pull work, because you can actually out-heal it, but other healers, not so much. I love when everything breaks. Yeah, to be honest, right. I think that's where it's a bonus you play the game for. That's true. If you're playing for, like, really intense score or whatever, I could totally see it being a very anti-fun experience. I could understand that perspective, but I think that pre-patch, you know, title is gone. You can't get cutting edge. The season is over. You're now in Midnight Pre-Patch. It is, in fact, designed to be fun. So see this right here? This is the healer thing. Pull boss whenever. I'm good. This is why I'm in the boss, just pull boss when it spawns. Because I'll just be drinking. I'm chilling. So when the boss spawns, I'm still drinking. And I just chill here for a second. And then my mana's full by the time I actually need to ramp. And then you don't have to wait like this. For a couple weeks of TBC, you could, yeah, like stuff like that, though, is actually hilarious. And I think that we get so caught up. I understand it, by the way. You look so handsome with the hair. Thank you. I think I look better with shorter hair, too, actually. I've heard different opinions on this, but overall, I also think that I look better with shorter hair. So I just ramp here. I have 1 second to go apply this bleed to the boss, and then I'm pre-ramping again. Okay, so he's going to look. He's going to go in, it looks like. So I will wait. No problem. I'm in now. Perfect. So, did you ever have hair like long hair, like your hair? Because I've seen your Discord profile picture, Cartman. No. I've never had hair quite like your hair. I look better with short shorts. Have you seen my Instagram, Nat Boy? Because I figured out the hack for Instagram, I think. I'm learning this social media business. But you know, I think I've really uncovered something. If I just wear the normal shorts that I wear, which are all athletic shorts, and then I cuddle with my cat, which I do every day anyways, right? And I just kind of angle it so that you see mostly crotch, then my Instagram will grow. Amazing. This is like a wonderful, no one ever told me this. And some almost nudes on this? Wait a second, I never sent you that. Psh, what are you referring to? I never did this. That doesn't sound like something I would do. That doesn't sound like something I would do. It actually totally does sound like something I would do, to be honest. What's up, Needless? Sorry, I missed your show. Why is your stream shown on the Race to World last... Is it? I don't know. My stream was shown on the Race to World last site? What? Why? You didn't? Oh, thank God. But the internet is unforgivable. What's funny is that I actually did one time, like earlier this year in February, I did an underwear modeling photo shoot, and I was very sleep deprived on stream, and I just told people about it, and they were like, yo, could we see? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I just started sending the photos to people individually, and now I just randomly remember that sometimes. Wait, am I actually shown on the Race to World last? Why? I don't know, Needless. I am not doing Race to World last. Well, I was playing Timu Dementius, though. Last pull 301 best. Is that actually... Does it say that, though? Does it really? Because I was fighting Timu Dementius earlier. At the end of this dungeon, you're fighting Timu Dementius, to be honest. Can post the link? Yeah. Do it. Is that a troll website? No, it's a real thing. People love watching the Race to World last. It's actually a real thing, and no joke, it's a very enjoyable thing to watch. Have you never seen people do Race to World last? It's kind of Omega content. One more AoE here, like this. Yeah. Did the dude just get banned? Wait. No, wait, fuck. No, can you unmod him? Wait a second. Wait, hold up. Mod. Wait, is there any mod in here? No, he did get banned. Shit. Holy. He did get banned. Oh, man, that was so needless. Hold up. Hell, you want to be a mod of my stream? I kind of can't not heal right now. 1 second. / mod. Who wants to be a mod? Hell, law, ray, on. Oh, too bad. No, hold up. Who wants to be a mod? You want to be a mod? Okay. Remove time. Thank you, noob. All right, Needless. I'm so sorry. Well, you know, that was a Needless ban. Funny you mentioned that. Hi. My bad. Okay, can you give Needless permission to post a link, noob? They need to get a permit first. Right. Can you do that real quick? It would be much appreciated. Because bots will come in here otherwise and randomly spam post things. Why are you not a mod yet? Do you want to be? I don't know. I'll just hand out mod. I don't. Oh fuck. Oh, he pulled the little ones. Oh, he pulled the shadow worms. You get the buff for it, but it does hurt a lot when they explode. And then give him VIP. He's gonna go through a loop for sure, though. All right, hell, you're a mod now. I can post links. You can post links because you are subbed, correct? It's just set to that. It's like the easiest way to prevent people from randomly coming in and sharing links. Now you are at best poll 2%. I genuinely, I don't know why. Nope. Don't die. Shield broke. Uh-oh. The tank shield has broken. I can probably cover him. I might be able to just power heal my tank. Do I have repair, though, is the question. Did they just get the information wrong? That's pretty funny if they did. To be honest, genuinely would be hilarious. I do not have repair on me, I don't think. No, not on beta. I do on live because warrior shield breaking has got to be the most hilarious old school classic WoW mechanic that still exists in this game. We'll have to investigate this more, Needless. Needless, have you killed Dementius? Are you CE? Are you Hall of Fame? I've been given power. You want me to unmod you? No, honestly, the fact that durability still exists in World of Warcraft is actually an outdated mechanic. Does it serve a purpose? Did you manage to get the kill, mate? You got your mount already? I got the Farok mount, and honestly, after that, nothing compares. Farok mount is bis. Holy big pull, actually. Huge pull. All right. This is a decision. That was an honest question. Oh, honestly, okay, so I don't know why I'm featured on the Race to World last stream. I'm doing beta keys, and we're experimenting with very, very, very fast, aggressive routing through a very difficult dungeon. No, so I actually am not fighting Dementius. I genuinely don't know why I would be featured on there. I don't raid. Yeah. I don't really know. I will tell you this, and this is probably a bad thing to say if I'm being featured on the Race to World last. I love World of Warcraft. Genuinely. Gotta be bis game. Fucking love playing this game. Alright? I've been playing this game for a very long time. I never get bored of it. I just learn how to tank, learn how to heal, learn how to do something. I always play something, alright? I got alts or whatever it is. However, raiding as a Mythic Plus player does indeed feel like somebody has filled a pillow sack with a bag of bricks and I have to repeatedly slam it against my head, non-stop. That is what raiding feels like to me. I wish I didn't have to raid whatsoever. I don't like raiding. It doesn't actually... Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel the reward that other people feel from raiding. It is a chore that I have to do if there are very rare items for Mythic Plus. And I honestly get curious what people get from raiding. Like, is it the sense of like, for me, I like the sense of accomplishment of doing keys and pushing my ability of what I can do there. However, okay, you have to step out of the puddle immediately. When the puddle spawns, you have to immediately step out. You can't, like, wait a second because it'll... Or defensive, I suppose. I hope that in Season 1, they don't encourage people to raid by giving the access of very rare items. Because that's what they do sometimes. And I find that to be an interesting system. And it makes me wonder, if they didn't have higher item level attached to raid, would people still do it? I genuinely wonder that, and I don't know the question. I don't know the answer. Like, do you think that people would still want to raid if there was no myth track gear? Would people still clear mythic if you got no item level benefit whatsoever? Like, same exact gear as heroic. No. I have a feeling that a lot of people would, but not everyone. So my question is, you wouldn't do that. why do you raid then? Is it really worth 6 months, if your race world lasts 6 months of effort, to get an advantage on early item level? Yes. So that is the good point, though. But I think that Holy Witch WoW players, though, why would you only make raid for something? So that's the thing, though. That's a lot of people do. And then I realized at some point that I don't need to anymore. And the second that I realized that the system of dinars and everything else, I was like, oh, I don't actually need to be doing this. I was like, oh, I'm out. And then I just stopped mythic raiding, and I am a much happier, more joyful person. Like, you know what I mean? Troll, you're a good person to ask. You're always in raid. I see you in raid all the time. So the question I have for you is, if you didn't get mythic items from raid, there was no benefits of mythic raiding whatsoever, would you still do it? Genuine question. I don't mythic raid because I don't care about the item level difference. There's too much effort and time. For me, you would. Okay. For me, it's so hard to think about finding 20 people that I mesh with. That to me is the hardest thing. It's really difficult for me to find 20 people. 4 people is maybe okay for keys. But like 20 people is really tough. Because maybe I'm just unique. Like I have different perspectives on the game. I don't know exactly what it is. But that's the hardest part for me. Because if I'm having fun and I could find 20 people who have the same sort of sense of humor or whatever, I'd probably mythic raid. But it's just every guild I've ever been in, there's been some issue with either skill parity or like most of mythic raid and the night is spent waiting for people to stop messing up mechanics, myself included. You know, I get zoned out in raid, so I kind of make a lot of mistakes, and ping from Thailand does not help me on heavy raid fights and stuff. But it keeps keys fresh. I'm not doing the same ones over and over. Helps keep keys fresh. So you're like interspersing your game time. I don't mind doing a few days of raid throughout the week. It's just, it doesn't give me that rewarding feeling. And that's what I miss when it comes to raid. Like when I do keys, I'm like, wow, this is epic. But when I do raid, I'm like, okay, when is this over? And I just sort of, I'm realizing I'm using the wrong mentality for gaming. If you're ever gaming and you're like, all right, when is this over? I'd be like, why am I doing this? I honestly think that a lot of it is just that I'm a much more successful adult than I was a kid. As a kid, I was so much more okay doing things I didn't want to do. But now, I'm kind of not, because I'm actually like a functional, happy, relatively speaking adult. Like, I have a good life. So now when things make me unhappy, I just think to myself, why am I doing this? And I realize I don't have to, and then I stop doing them. And swap them from Mythic. Take all those sentiments and swap them from Mythic Plus to Raid, is my opinion. Oh, we're pulling this. Okay. This is an interesting pull. Can do that. The last boss here, by the way, is actually Timu Dementius. So if I'm featured on the Race to World Last website, it'll be hilarious, because I will literally be fighting the Wish version of Timu Dementius in a second. You know, the base UI, I've been okay with it, but this is a little bit tough, though. Thoughts on the Guardian Druid buffs? They're good. They still don't make it the highest damaging tank. However, there are a lot of bugs with Guardian, and if they fix the bugs with Guardian, then Guardian will be a lot more competitive, because the bugs with Guardian are a little bit more egregious than the bugs with other tanks, except for DK, but they're specifically rotational and damage buffs. So they're going to make a pretty big difference. Oh, I see we're skipping those two. They're going to make quite a large difference. Oh, we're not skipping those two. Okay, full ramp heal then. This is a big healing pull, so I'm just going to watch aggro. I'm going to Vortex Typhoon for the tank. I love Mythic Plus, but a lot of it is dumb. For me... How dare you speak truth in this channel? Wait, what's the truth? What did I miss? What truth chat did I miss? Because I mean, this key is actually hard to heal. Of all the keys on beta, if in Midnight Season 1, just so you know, this is going to be the key that actually hurts the most, though. The skill disparity is the problem. How much hot maintenance do you need with Resto Druid? The same amounts, but it's a different ramp, and it's slightly easier. You have less procs, so you kind of just have to do this, though. You're new here? Hi, Vixie Warrior. Well, if you're new to my stream, hello. I'm a woo. I really like cheesecake. Sometimes I have small orgasms when I eat cheesecake because it's that good. And I like fur, but not necessarily in the same way as everyone else. That's my introduction. I would rather not raid also. I get pumped to do Cleese. That's why I just raiding is just like, I can do it, but it's kind of just, you know? The same GCD investment, yes. That is one of the weird things with Resto Druid is that you still kind of have a ramp, though. If you compare repeating Mythic Plus dungeons and clear Mythic raiding each week, what's the difference? Keys have variety, and I can absolutely change any point for whatever. So I'll heal keys, and then I can DPS keys, and all of them are drastically different. Where's he going? Okay, hold up. This fight is absolutely brutal. 1 second. There are 3 dots. I need to heal all of them flawlessly. And I need to be able to dispel the tank. And if we miss any one of these soaks, then we instantly die. Like, literally no recovering this boss. So right now, we have it very easily. Let me just make sure I dodge this. So I have to dispel the tank here. Make sure I'm in range of everyone. That was the wrong global. So I'm just going to spend my Nature of Swiftness to heal that up. And then here. Basically, TLDR is that you're pushing keys to set. Yes, and I get that. To be fair, one thing that I will never do is push my own opinion on everyone else. That's just a bad way of thinking, man. I don't like it when people do that. When they say, look, my way, it's my way or the highway, right? I hate that mentality. I have a perspective, you have a perspective. That's fine. I want to be able to share mine and talk about it because I like sharing about details about my life and stuff. However, it is just a perspective. That's at the end of the day, that's all it is. There are people who are really into raid, and I do not want to slam them. I will exaggerate how bad it is for me because it's funny to embellish stories sometimes and to say things like, it's like hitting myself with a bag of bricks. However, there are people who, you know, their whole point of playing the game is to be able to share that experience with others, and they do so through raid, and it's the most giga hype thing that has ever existed because raiding in WoW is iconic, man. It's the center point of World of Warcraft. I think a lot less so in retail nowadays, but it's fucking badass. You know, like raiding is so cool, man. Please, we gotta res him immediately and then get over there. Do not miss a soak. I'm gonna go. I got it. So, yeah. From a different perspective, I am capable of zooming out and realizing that my perspective is simply not everyone's perspective. I bet we got Resilient 15, I think, on beta. Congratulations. I was missing this key. That last boss is tough, man. Just a lot of healing. It's not the worst, but it's a lot of healing for me. Raiding event is paying way more. It's fun. I think that there's a combination of the two, you know? Animation going around. I genuinely think, though. Funny shit I've ever done was raiding with 9 real-life friends. When I first came back to World of Warcraft, I played in a family guild that was run by 2, and they played with their kids, and they tried to get their grandkids to play with them, and they were a family-run guild that tried to clear normal, and that was their progression over the season. And you know what? What a great environment. Like, what an absolutely great environment. No, there was no family drama. It was okay, you know. And it was just different. It was Castle Nathria. I love M plus more, but people who are contradict raiders are just dumb. Most raiders. I think, Enbo, the problem is that when we think about WoW content creation in general, you have some people whose voices are very loud. And the people who hate raid are going to be very vocal about the fact that they hate raid, right? Myself included. You have people who really love it, and they're going to be very vocal. You're going to have people who likewise think the same about keys. But the majority of people fall somewhere in the middle, and they're going to be much less vocal. I contribute time to a guild's never gotten AOTC. Right. And I help them get 3 of them. Yeah, exactly. That's actually a lot of fun, too, especially if you're healing. I think that like solo healing a raid is really fun. Congratulations to Gaslighters. Very cool. Who's killing all their add-ons? Yeah, pre-patch is going to be crazy, though. So to be fair, I just think it's important. It's the same thing as when we make... Like, if I make a guide for keys, which I will do, or if I make a guide for classes, I think this is an even bigger one. We understand the key thing. That makes sense, right? Like, a lot of times the Mythic Plus guides are made for a plus 20. Or if somebody makes a video and they say it's way more efficient to pull all the casters in Priory, they've never been in a pug, because that's the worst thing you could possibly do. The Priory is a bad dungeon, not because of dungeon design. It's actually okay. It's pretty interesting. It looks cool. Visually stunning dungeon. Open design, routing decisions. But because, goddamn, the casters. So rough in pugs. People overlap their CCs. There's no such thing as a CC chain in most level keys. You're not in comms, etc. So it's actually much better to route that place with as few casters as possible and pull all the footmen, because you as a tank can control that much better. There are differences in that. Likewise, same thing for raiding. Same thing for most of World of Warcraft, where people fall in the middle. When you make a guide, like I want to make guides for all specs that I play. So if I'm playing beta, I want to make one for Resto Druid and all the other healers, in case people are interested in actually being able to play them. You know? Oh yeah, you want to see that? What's up? After a second, it's more hard. We didn't line aside any consumes. That's true. Check DM, please. Majority of... I agree with that. But fun... What did you DM me? I don't see anything. Can we... Oh. Yeah. But be... Sort of. Yes. Okay. Yes, you can. Okay. Guys, you are going to meet Kitty and her friend. They want to come say hi. Apparently we have people over, which means that I am forced to be social. This is going to be interesting. What do you think, which next dungeon is going to be the next farm dungeon? Needless. Probably Algathar Academy, most likely. No, it's not a puppy. It's an actual person. It's okay. She's cool. I've met this friend before. She's a cool one. All good. No problem. But Enbo, when it comes to WoW, you know, most people would benefit from like the most simple, straightforward. And what do you play in WoW, Enbo? Like Enboss, what is your spec in World of Warcraft? Let me put it this way. I'm not healing perfectly, but I'm all right. I'm also a tank. Okay. Do you play all tanks? Great. Let me just give any tank in the world then. Guardian Druid, my favorite tank. There's a lot of Guardian Druids who we talk about the min-max of their talents. We talk about how you want to hold the rage for this, you want to min-max here. But there's a ton of Guardian Druids who literally don't hit their... They don't even know what Incarn is. Hello. All right, be social. A soda water? Yeah. Okay. Hi, Nat. Long time no see.
We just wanted to come say hello.
You can come say hello. This is the camera, though. Oh, so you have to be... Yeah, the camera's right there. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
We have people over. Hello.
Okay, here you go.
I would give you a hug, but I don't know if I should break the stream.
You can, that's fine.
Is it huggable? Okay.
Konnichiwa.
Hello.
Mushi mushi. That was it.
Okay.
Enjoy
That's
your
it?
soda.
Okay,
I'm
thank
just giving
you.
her a house tour.
All right.
This is
Enjoy your house
stream.
tour.
This is sick.
You like my stream? Don't actually look at it. Wait, you're giving her a
looks
stream.
nice,
No,
yeah.
so the thing is that no one ever sees my desk or anything around here. Like, you don't see anything. You don't see the massive amounts of tissues to the right. Don't worry, that's not, the tissue pile is not as awkward as it is. I've had a
The
sinus
tissue
congestion.
pile is very weird
No,
and
listen.
awkward.
No, I've had a
Listen-
sinus
listen-
infection.
Listen to the guest coming here for the first time. Behind his desk, it kind of looks like you're training for the Spartan
No.
race, which is nice. It shows that you're fit.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of fitness equipment there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the drawers there's all fitness equipment too.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lie.
But the tissue pile, just ignore that. There's no such thing.
There's
as,
no
You guys have
ignoring
cats.
it.
yeah, it's
Allergies.
unrelated completely.
Of course.
It's completely unrelated. Right?
A flower for your
This is not even the room that I do self-soothing activities in. It's the other room. You know that.
So you say.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
It sounds like you guys are just lying up.
No, I would never lie to stream.
4 kilos.
It's just all weights.
The cheesecake was very good.
You're welcome.
To be fair, it wasn't tissue
No,
good,
the one
but
I
it
made.
was very good.
Yeah.
This right here.
I saved you one.
That's so good. It's really, really good.
Nice. That's really
There's just casually like 250 kilos of weight we share too. Wait, not 250. Like in there. Is like,
Nice.
yeah, 120 kilos. Sorry, 250 pounds.
Mine is 5 kilos. I'm strong. No kidding.
Free gym. That's a perfect dating a woo.
The
They're up.
username takes me out every time.
See you later.
Yeah, because they call me a woo, not Steve. It's a much better name. Oh, people. All right. See, sometimes people aren't that bad. It depends on the day. What was I saying about WoW? We shouldn't discredit rate. Well, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Enbo. I've seen Guardian Druids with 22% uptime on Iron Fur. Just remember that. Right. No. I just was going to tell you that I've literally seen Guardian Druids with like 22% uptime on Iron Fur. Right. And in that case, so the point is, what they need is a guide that just literally tells them to macro Iron Fur. And you're like, well, hold up. Macroing Iron Fur is no good. It's like, it's just it's better than 22%. And you say, there's no way you can have 22% uptime. It's like, you vastly underestimate how bad some people can be at the game. That's fine, though. Getting into WoW is incredibly daunting, especially tanking. There's just no one that explains so much of what tanking is, though. Jeez. So, when you get into World of Warcraft, I wish there was a resource that helped you understand. You don't have to be optimizing and min-maxing to the degree that people pretend you have to be. That is kind of what I just wish for WoW in general, because people actually optimize the fun out of the game. And it's no good, man. It doesn't need to be like that. You don't have to do that, you know? And it's something that I'm actually fairly passionate about, of just like, how could I help people understand if you actually hit 1-2-1-2, you'll be okay. It's something I want to do with the guides that I put out. It's something, it's like, yo, you want to play Frost Mage on beta? Just literally hit these 3 buttons and you'll do massive damage. Like, it's that simple. And DPSing is way easier than tanking and healing, and you cannot... I'm a pretty open person. Like, I'm willing to change my opinion on almost anything, except that I don't think you could possibly convince me in any way, shape, or form. There's like pretty much no way you could convince me that DPSing is harder than tanking or healing keys. Like, there's no way. That's just a simply false statement. Not going to happen. All right. We do have guests over. He's not lying. I learned about his tissue habits today. No. Listen, the cheesecake was good, but the problem is, guys, there is a tissue pile to my right. That's the problem, by the way. It is, in fact, it's just where I've been blowing my nose. And during a stream, I blow my nose, and then I put the tissues there, and then I'll throw them away tomorrow. or like later today. Like I'll take them down and I'll throw them out, but there is a tissue pile right next to my computer desk, which is awkward. Okay? It's just a little bit of a thing. And opinions. No balance on it. Yeah, exactly. Right. Definitely in the hole in the market. Well, it's something that I plan on doing, Enbo. Plus, you really enjoy the sweat. So, there's a ton of people who do, but the people who are doing plus 20s in general are not going to be watching a guide, first of all. And second of all, soda water. In going into night, specs are not that hard, man. And one of the issues is if you want to learn something completely new, like Enbo, you are a tank player. You play all 6 tanks and you play at a higher level. Okay, so you probably know a lot about the game. Is there anything that you've never played that you're curious about playing? Never played before, ever. History of World of Warcraft. All this time the game's been out, you've never played it. Is there anything like that? For me, it would be Enhancement Shaman. I've never played Enhancement Shaman. It's one of the only specs I've never played. Keep in mind, my beta list currently looks like this, and I've played everything here. Next thing I was going to try on beta was Hunter. But I regret never touching healing. Okay. Right. So if you've played a lot of things, this doesn't quite work for you. But in general, imagine that you've just never touched healing. Okay. So you are going to play Resto Druid. Resto Druid's pretty straightforward. You understand WoW, so you're going to have a base of knowledge. You're going to be thinking to yourself, what's my single target heal? What's my AoE heal? Etc. So you're going to use those buttons. And you're going to fail. Because you're going to misunderstand it. Okay? Okay, so maybe you would not be a good example of this. But a lot of people would think, okay, I got this. You see the Blizz server? Did they? No way, Fudgin. It's not going to happen. So all these specs technically play differently. Yeah? But not that differently. So every tank you think, what's my active mitigation? What's my cooldown? And how do I do this? But there's a limit to that application. What I would teach you is just say, yeah, it's actually weirdly, it sounds simple, but it's got a lot of nuance to it, yeah. But if I was going to make a Resto Druid quick guide, in 5 minutes, I'll teach you how to play it. Give me 5 minutes of your time, and I'll teach you how to play it. And that's what I'm going to do. Like, even today, I'll make another one. You've never played Rogue. Rogue is an interesting one because you'll notice that I don't have a Rogue made on beta. It's because it's one of the things I don't play very much, though. Teach me how to heal? Sure. It's really not that like DPS. Just if you really want to learn how to heal, first of all, you could play Shaman right now on Midnight. Shaman is I made a quick guide for it. Just find it here. The healer ones are locked. So if you want to learn how to heal, just ask me. Like seriously, if you can't afford $5 to sub on Patreon or anything like that, just gonna ask me. I'll probably just send it to you. I seriously mean that. Right now, one of the problems is people are so passionate about their spec. If I ask you about your favorite spec, you're going to want to teach me everything. Don't teach me everything. Teach me the fucking basics. Talk to me like I'm an idiot. It's way better. Like I'm like Guardian Druid. Okay, so there's this really cool thing. If you min-max 40 versus 60 rage versus 80, but there's a bug with Killing Blow, and all of a sudden it actually doesn't apply here. So you see Kira playing this in higher keys, but we're probably going to get that fixed. And it's like, whoa. Fucking thrash and iron for a man. Like, keep it simple. Resto Shaman cannot express to you. Just do it this way. Play Totemic. Play give or take this build. Yeah? Give or take. Play a simple build. Go into options. Set up your click casting. I'm not even kidding, by the way. And this is the type of thing. If this is on Patreon, there's a Resto Shaman quick guide, which goes over a little bit more. Go to your click casting. Set up Riptide and Healing Wave. This is not even used right now. You don't even use Chain Heal. It's just basically these two. Riptide, Healing Wave. Left click, right click. Put your Earth Shield on 2 targets. Keep your Riptide active with left click. When damage happens, right click. Keep your totem down on the group and use your other totem. Right click, left click, right click, left click. Right click faster when there's big damage happening. Left click harder when there's not a lot of damage happening. Congratulations, you can now heal as a Resto Shaman. I'm fucking serious. Legitimately. Take that information, go look at the quick guide, and like go heal keys. That's Resto Shaman now. There's a little bit more nuance than that, of course. But at a basic level, you can go do 12s and 15s like this, though. Make that a short? I should actually clip stuff like that, you're right. If I ever do cool things like that, Harith, you can clip it. But I always forget to go back to my stream and clip things. Yeah, but like little things like that. Healing is a lot of like this, though. Make sure you wear your raincoat. That's true. Most WoW players are not going to be used to getting splashed in the face. So it is important that you use protection. Anyways. I will go work on... I think I got to finish the healers or start working on tank quick guides. I'm not sure. I might do one or the other. All quick guides will be available on Patreon if I make them. I will put most of them, if I can remember, on the YouTube members. I just always forget to do it. But yeah, for the YouTube people as well, it'll be there. Okay. Let's see this one. We do have guests over. It's a special occasion. Not used to having guests over. Also, I am a sponsored streamer now, which is super cool. If you want a cool gaming browser, this is a cool one. I actually really like it, though. Birthday, isn't it? No, it was my birthday 2 days ago. I am already 29. I'm old now. Yep. Now we're just old, man. Now we're just old. Belated. Krista's is on, but how long is she on for? Last day for season push. Oh, they're probably going hard. I wonder if they have title. That looks... What are they doing? This is an old raid, man. But let's go return the favor. Let's go raid Krista's. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. DPS. Nice routes. I can lock in and heal them in the future if you want. Easy? Bet. Happy to lock in and do that with you again in the future. I like doing challenging routes. It just sometimes I get distracted on stream because I'm full chatting while I'm playing a spec that I don't actually like Resto Druid, by the way. It just is the most OP healer on beta. But for reference sake, I don't like it. Question, opposite what I said to me. A class you regretted touching. Mine is Rep Pelly. Resto Shaman, because it spoiled all the other healers. I was a Preservation Evoker main for a long time, and then I decided to play Resto Shaman, and I was like, bro, why am I working so hard on Pres Evoker? That one, Resto Shaman. That's the spec I regret playing. Because the second I started playing Resto Shaman, I was like, bro, why the f am I working so hard to do the same healing? Like, it's way harder. That experience completely changed my opinion on Pres Evoker. I was really good at Pres, and I actually played it in a season where it wasn't that good. But the problem is that Resto Shaman is so significantly easier and does the same exact shit, if not better. And I was just like, bro, why am I couldn't justify the effort on Pres after that. That's why. That probably, though. Dark Fuse rep, it's horrible after the nerf. Good luck, Moon. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you later. Discord's here if you want. Go say hi to Krista's. She's a healer. All right, bye. Hi. This is a throwback. I like this raid that she's in, you know. YouTube, if you're here, you're awesome. I can't hear her for shit. Ma'am. The truth. Cheers, have fun. I bet. Thank you. Oh, after dark? Yeah, I'll be on kick for a second. for people who watch on YouTube, just as a reference, I've ended my Twitch stream, so now you guys are the unique ones. I have my chat for YouTube to the right. Just remember, if I ever miss your chat on YouTube, you gotta come to just like send it to me on Twitch. And the reason is because my Twitch chat is directly in the center of my screen. As you know, I'm tanking and healing fairly difficult keys, so I'm over here, right? But my chat is literally on my screen right now. Like, cannot express to you that my chat is actually right here. I'll show you. This is a special treat for those on YouTube and Kick at the moment. I will literally show you how this works. So screen share, hold up. Screen capture, all right, bet. So this is what my game looks like, and I have my chat like this. I normally make it sometimes that big. So this is how I'm playing all the time and why occasionally I die to a mechanic. It's actually like this. So I can track stuff, yeah? So this is why I can read and keep track of things. But this is only, it doesn't work for YouTube and Kick. So the chat, those are over to the right. That's why I sometimes miss your message. Because I'm like scrolling up and reading this the whole time. Yeah, just in case. So if I miss, if you're hanging out, that's fine. That's not a problem. But just in case I ever miss it, that would be why. Just letting you know. Enjoy your good luck on. Yeah, but that's why. All right, we have guests over. I'm gonna make. I wonder what quick guide I'm actually making today. I'll think about it. I want to make a few. All right. Anyways, bye YouTube.